Tell me what you say.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Tonight we are broadcasting Valorant, coming to you live from beautiful Boise, Idaho, where the temperature, the mercury is just past the big 100 and the competition is heating up as well. We'll start out with the Ghosts taking on the Knights. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Greg Old Soul Smith. It's great to have you here. Overall, and this is going to be a special rumble as the series will be best of 3, not just in the grand final, so that kind of changes the dynamic a lot. Each team has the opportunity to come back and kind of pull off a reverse sweep, if you will.
It really does. We talk a lot about sacrifices and understanding like whether you need to get the advantage on the offensive half, the defensive half, and this really changes it out. Having, best of 3 means that they have so many more options in how they want to play long-term games.
Yeah, there will be 4 teams competing this week. Of the 4 teams competing, we have Ghosts, Knights, Vipers, and Barracudas. That's going to be pretty cool, and 2 are made up of free agents in the Knights and Barracudas, so Kind of going to be interesting to see how well they mesh together. Best of 3, they ban one map, and then the teams alternate picking stages, or the alternate coin toss. So a lot of exciting things to go on here. But no matter what stage you are playing on, Doc's keys to the game will always be in play for you, and that is going to be flank effectively, spend and peek wisely, don't unscope at the wrong time, and don't chicken out on the Yoru. Please, our production has Yoru fans in there, and they really want to see him. And that's going to be brought to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. So we kick off the first series in Week 2, Rumble with the Ghosts taking on the Knights in Bind. I can't think of a stage that's more thematically appropriate for how the weather is outside, too. I wasn't kidding when I said it is over 100. It's 101 outside Fahrenheit, 38 for all you European snobs out there, Celsius. And overall, here we go into Bind, just like the weather out here. A very, very hot. And it's a dry heat as well. It's the same kind of heat as the one we're facing here. Very desert-like.
Very dusty to be sure, despite which it's got a huge pick rate recently. I feel like we've been seeing Bind almost every day.
We have. And, of course, Bind, we have the opportunity here to see Yoru. It is his best map. You can do some pretty sneaky stuff with the teleporters. But I just like the teleporters so much. They're probably one of my favorite map gimmicks in the game.
Yeah. Interesting that the devs decided to put one little gimmick into every single map to kind of make it unique. And the teleporter was definitely a unique one to be sure. It's not just ropes in a different direction or more or less verticality. The teleporter's done right, though we see less fake outs as of late. Art, can provide a decent advantage.
As we see the picks coming through here, of course, we've been talking about agents that feel at home on this map. Cypher is being considered over by the red team, but we're also seeing Raze being hovered by both teams. Really comes into her own here on Bind. It's always nice to see a different sort of duelist other than just the standard Jet pick, and I like seeing Raze a lot more than Jet personally. I just like her kit. She's fun to play. She
is fun to play, and she doesn't get to be seen very often. Looks like we're going to be doubling up the duelist for the red team, and Fade coming in clutch here. Unfortunately, it's not going to be mirrored. We see instead a Sage on the other side, though Chamber is mirrored. He's really become more and more prevalent, I think, as this meta rolls on, and this is a good site for him to do so. We talk a lot about being able to relocate pretty quickly and being able to watch flanks here, and having a Sentinel that can move that fast is very nice. He almost plays like a duelist sometime, especially considering the kind of kit that he's got. So I'm anticipating a very, very attack-forward side on this attacking side for Bind, just right off the bat.
So we got Ghosts versus Knights. Ghosts will be on the left, Knights on the right. Coaxel is a member of the Ghosts, so a little bit fitting. Kind of, I think a blue more is going with Ghosts, so it's a nice color to start out with. But here we go as we're ready to jump into Bind here. And we've been seeing also just a whole lot of chamber play, too. I mean, just talk about the new Sentinel that has really been brought into their own chamber. To some players' chagrin, hasn't received any nerfs and is just really shining. We get looks like a few settings filtered out. We've all kind of been there, but overall, yeah, Chamber is just more than happy to set up on locations like Heaven overlooking A, and just has so many great sidelines on Mind.
And that teleporter that he has, rendezvous with the teleporters that are on the map.
It's
we talked about
teleporters everywhere.
It really is. It can be.
Like, walking's overrated. You just need to teleport. Of course, as we're in market here, we don't see what Bind was known for, which was the stabbing of the various items on sale, but maybe that can come back, because we're ready here. So we see the Knights are going to be attacking first. Ghost keeping an eye here on short, as Pryor is going to try to feel this out. I like the skin. I like the recon skin. I appreciate that. That's... I mean, I know the pro skin has been getting a lot of love, but I like the traditional military look.
Looks like Ghost had a chance there for potential bait and switch, but did not commit fast enough. Boom! A good play by Jabe. Decides to make right out of there, take his free shot with a headhunter. That wasn't exactly free, was it? That was 100 credits right there, but beautifully played. They're already setting up to take on B here. After putting a little tap onto A, I love the pressure change. Knights, extreme cooperation, or display of at least, considering they're a free agent team. Majabis, a good understanding of FaZe's hack there. Makes it around the corner and a double headshot there. Majab's playing excellently to change the tides there on the win, on the death to life ratio here, as we have 2 on one and 3 on the other. Spike is now down. Majab's got to really defend his ground, but it's not going to happen. Jabe comes back with a headhunter. Gonna make it around the corner. Ken trying to fight against. So low health there, very trapped here. Hopefully someone can come in clutch around for him. Simply TD backing off.
Whoa!
Teleport's broken.
Okay. Very low on health. Only one left for Ken, and there you go. And I gotta say, that chamber has just been clicking heads left and right here.
Jabe is definitely doing an excellent job with that headhunter here. Moving into the second round, Knights with a good first round, considering that they were able to take out all of the ghosts. Look good for Econ and are definitely going to try to roll this into a round 3.
And just a quick shout out here, not just to, you know, Knights for winning that, but saw some great play by Majabis. Simply TD, though, is fighting back on the ghosts. Already top fragger for Jet, and was also pretty good clicking heads. We're going to see a lot more as we're going forward.
All right, this A-Short position paying a lot more aggressively in the hands of Ken instead of our Brimstone, so we see that one smoked off pretty immediately because of it. They're committing to a full push in, though. Nick here, back turn to the... Oh! Back turn to the Bath, was able to take one out from an off angle. Definitely a good gamble there. Nick trying to defend his territory here. The spike right where it should be, but not quite planted. Leonard Muse sending them prowl around, not going to find very much off of it, but is all pinged up for a good sightline onto Bath. He's sent sideways, though, by the paint shells. Can't find his man.
Location revealed there, but already saw him, so it's not too much information gained. We're down to 2-2. Spike still hasn't been planted yet. And with that Sage Wall...
Interesting that Nick decides to keep playing forward, though he has the time advantage. Nope, he's setting up. He's doing well.
Careful here.
Yep, it is on their clock. The Knights have to move out of there, and they have 2 people, one with low health and no way to heal up. Kind of awkwardly stuck around here, just trying to get the timing right. At 20 seconds, they start to move out. Got to clear all this area.
And also not in the best position with health, with no movement abilities left for that Jet. So has to rely completely on winning with the double peek, and they managed to do it.
They sure do. It was good entry utility, but it was taken a little bit quickly. With 2 people, it's definitely safe to toss that entry utility as the other one walks in.
But I'm in the full expectation that this is probably going to be a close game. These haven't been, you know, necessarily bowled over victories, and once everyone gets their full purchases and the guns they're used to, the game can turn around quite quickly.
We go.
It definitely can. We've talked several times about the difference in playstyle between the what we call the sidearm rounds or the pistol rounds versus the full gun rounds, which changes after this bonus here, as the Knights have found their second point and are now playing with Spectres, trying to move through these ghosts who have defending a lot harder here. This Oni Phantom charged all the way up. Looks like we're seeing a little bit of a re-rotate back to A. It might not be the call, though, as that one's been held pretty hard, though Knights say rinse and repeat if it worked for the last 2 rounds play.
Simply TD has a possible flank here on Bath, but he's going to have to play against Moonkeeper. Is watching that, is able to take him out. Helps protect Sage in the meantime, who can keep an eye on short. Gonna get some help now from Moonkeeper, looking for the double peek. Just get some chip damage there against the Rays, it looks like.
His defense has been nice and solid. They're just jiggle peeking one angle, not getting too aggressive, letting people come to them. Ooh, excellent.
Spike down.
Now the spike is dropped, so that even gives the Ghosts an even better advantage here. Knights in a very rough spot now. Lunar, though, might be able to get the flank. With the help of Pryor, is able to take out the Sage. Ghosts are still in lamps right now. They're going to have to find the time for themselves to plant. The chamber rotates around.
Oh, this is an awkward position. Pryor's got them all around. Decides to spray and pray right around the corner. Takes 2 of them, but it's too low of health, and they take him over the box. And wow, he tried so many times to plant there, but he knew that he was multitasking like 3 different angles.
Yeah, and he just realized at that point he had to just go for the win on eliminations.
Yep.
It would have been no way he would have had enough time to plant with 4 people around him, so overall in that situation, not too bad. Still getting a double.
Yeah, did well with this run and gun double on 18 health. I think the problem was not having the determination to make that decision a little bit earlier, because either committing to the plant while the man had his back or going around and double peeking with him could have been the difference. A 4v2 is so much easier than a 3v1.
Well, other than the first round, it seems like the Knights have been favoring A, over B, but now there looks like they're going to push through B.
Yeah, Knights with a good bonus crusher are feeling good with a lot of econ. You know, it's time to buy new guns, and they've got
I
plenty
always
of
like
econ to do
this.
it.
Hawk through the teleporter,
such a good
and it's
one.
going to get the information that, yes, indeed, there are people over there trying to go into hookah. As Happy rotates in, is going to look back for his teammates. Keep an eye on that flank.
Yeah, that Hawk through the teleporter sets you up for a fantastic flank, and if they don't respect that, they will be punished for it. So I can see them pushing a little bit harder here through Market, nice and slow, and punishing Happy. Oh, Coaxial not quite going to make it. Tries to rotate around to help his friend. It does work out. Beast gets eye contact with everybody else. Finally going to find two and assist on that third one. Coaxial. Oh, just tries to make it across the center, but might be through. Looks like Lunar Moon does go down, and finally Simply TD with a flawless round for the Ghosts.
Beautiful there, especially since it can be a little bit panic-inducing when you're trying to watch here and you all of a sudden just see a bunch of people just running across the field. You're going to see it right here. At this point, it can be easy. Sometimes you just don't know who to aim for, but keeping that target prioritization by taking out Jabe first, working with the teammates, saying, let's take out this one person first. Really good job of keeping your cool in a situation like that.
Yeah, which is, I mean, it's an interesting idea to respect all of the individual targets as one massive target and try to shoot in the middle, which never, ever works.
No.
Never, ever works. That's just not how it plays. So
Remember,
you really have to target prioritize, like Jem's saying.
It's a proverb of wisdom that says if you chase two rabbits, you will lose them both.
Yep. Very true.
I learned that by playing Civilization 4.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that is a good one. Though Civ 5 is my favorite. Debate me, Civ 5 is way better than Civ 6 will ever be. That's my stand, and that's the hill I'm going to die on. As we go right here, talking about a hill to die on. Pryor, able to take out Majabis. Great way to open up the round.
Yep, almost got a second one there. May have got some damage off the side, but it looks like they're going to do a little self-heal. Nick hiding in the back streets here, maybe able to jump out on Happy with his people. Oh, Ken and Nick and Moon looking to jump out here. So many blind eyes turned. Shoulders to the back wall, just hoping that smoke will cover them. It might not happen. Doesn't look like they're going to push through. They're going to wait for that timer to go a little bit further. Oh, my goodness. Shot almost straight through the wall and took out Nick, but is not going to even land one. A good flash comes out, and Pryor's got a lot to deal with. Moonkeeper sends the flash nice and high, but man, there was such a timer on that. By the time he gets out, there's no shot, and Pryor takes them both for a 4K.
What a way to stand through an attempted double peek by the Ghosts here.
Yep, there's a point on that Sky Flash where you have to commit to it being in a bait and never actually sending it off. If you let it go out for too long and then actually set the flash, you haven't gained anything because you won't be able to peek in the time that that flash is active.
And it's also just kind of, it's the unstable dance that always happens with a Sky player. It's trying to use the advantage of the flash that the Hawk gives you, but also the other team can very much expect that you're going to peek out as soon as someone is blinded. So if you're working with your teammates there and you all of a sudden hear Sky say blinded, you know that that Sky's coming around the corner most of the time.
It's true. Yep, and with people that are this comfortable with the guns and this comfortable with the angles, they're already going to be pre-aiming and ready to pre-fire in the dark. So you do have to watch out for punishment there. Ooh, Ken almost gets caught, but does an excellent job moving out of there.
I like that. Oh, look at this. The orbital strike. Pryor tries to get away, just gets away with 10 health left. Looks like it might meet the other raise, though, from the other team in Market here. With no way to heal up to, I would give big priority over to the Ghosts.
Yeah, beautiful.
You see it. Yeah, Ghosts have just been unstoppable so far. As Knight's going to try to wallbang through the crates, force the Grim out there, and just take him out. 3-3 now.
Yeah, well done. Majabis really did squeeze him right out and take the final hit through the crate. So.
And look at Majabis, already 10-3.
Wow, 6 rounds in. We're tied for a 3-3 here. Looking at this 7th point, who's it going to go to? What does the advantage lie?
Technically, it was 10-3-1, so overall playing into 11 eliminations with just 6 rounds. That means just basically 2 eliminations per round almost.
Yeah. Yeah, that is a great average.
And of course, it compounds even more with the Rays, especially, or just any duelist, Jet especially too. But when you have those abilities that recharge off of eliminations like the paint shells, then when your Rays is popping off,
Breyer is going very aggressive. Might actually catch Ken off guard here as he watches the wrong side of the smoke. Doesn't look like they want to go all the way in for it though. He's seriously considering it. Might be looking for a smoke drop pop. Let's see. Oh, no, he strafes too hard, and Ken takes him absolutely. Readjust for a second, but they don't want to follow it. They decide to go through the teleporter, but Majabis is waiting for him and takes another one right behind. Decides to play aggressive on it, not going to catch one, but it's so worth it. As they come rolling in, Jade is just not quite ready. Jade with only 7 health gets caught by Quaxil with an assist. Nick now rolling around to leave A open, coming in for reinforcements, but they're taking everyone from Hookah. Oh, the Knights are playing so excellent here. Nick, the last stand, the last bastion against the Knights here. Happy and A's got to play against him and Ken. Decides to stim out. He's counted his cards, and he's moving all the way back to A. He has Spike in hand, and why not? 15 health to do it in. That orbital strike may be the setup of the century. It doesn't look like they've trusted this rotation yet. Nick is seriously considering it. Looks like we got that teleport over.
Oh, the
Oh,
rendezvous!
it's so good. Oh, he's so close, but Happy just barely gave it up. Not ready for Ken to pull that rendezvous. That was excellently
I was
performed.
assuming that chamber was way too far away there,
so did
but
I.
that chamber had the geometry of the map worked out perfectly there. I mean, look at that. That's insane. It's technically within range, so I got to give Chamber props there.
No, I feel like I've seen a good map understanding from both the Ghosts and the Knights, which is impressive and critical to really pull together a team of, you know, a free stack of a team.
I mean, being able to teleport, you know, from A to B instantly is so good.
Absolutely ridiculous considering that Brim was using a stim beacon to get back there.
Yeah, and then Chamber just snaps his fingers and does everything Brim did in just less than a second. Right now, they're going to try to rotate through Baths again.
Ooh. Nick may have more on their plate than they realize. Okay, rotating into a much better position so they can actually line up all 4 here. Maybe even going to use this wall to cut 2 off. I like the reallocation of resources here. Oh, no, the timing is perfect. They milked him right out of there, and Nick got taken by 3 people. Oh, all the rotation now. Only 1 person left on B, and the Knights might know it. They're seriously considering rewalking somewhere else. Sure enough, the spike goes through a little bit of conversation fire to be sent through the smokes there onto A, but the Ghost recognize it as well. It's just such a good map understanding to get all these rotations lined up well, and Majidis goes down to simply TD as he takes by force the site alone.
Now the rest of the team have to rotate in, but they're rotating in after that doorway has been smoked off, so one of them's have to go all the way around elbow and try to go to point. Meanwhile, Moonkeeper is waiting for the play as Coaxal gets ready. They should have their post plant set up. I don't know if anyone... Okay, yeah, Simply is going to take elbow here. Can he miss? No, he looks the wrong way! And that's the opening there for the Ghosts to maybe retake this. I was about to say they didn't have anyone looking over on elbow, and the one who did try to go over there unfortunately looked the wrong way while going around that corner. That could be costly, but Jake saves the Knights from that early mistake. It looks like they're going to be able to pull that off, and a thrifty, no less.
Ooh. Knights almost... No, was it? Yeah, the Ghosts, I think that orbital strike was spent, was it?
The Ghosts? Yeah, they didn't have the orbital strike. Yeah,
they never
he's
did.
2 away here. Yeah, but that was almost a costly mistake there. Oh, and Coaxal pulls the same mistake of not looking the right way, so could have been very disastrous for the Knights, but they still win that. Coaxal just 1 away now.
Looks like, yep, that tour de force is coming out. This is a pretty serious ult to be whipping out right now. 9th round. Hopefully it can make a difference and get a real edge up on for one of these teams here. The Ghost, oh.
Haunt going to be thrown out, quickly destroyed. Jade is going to be facing down that tour de force, and unfortunately by going down there is just going to close off short. Hey, not that that's too much. Look at that. There's that teleport we were talking about. He's able to rotate back. He has to go over to Headhunter in close range. He gets mowed down, and now the Knights only have 1 left. Lunar Mew playing out of their mind right now, though. Oh, that's such an unfortunate dog there.
Ooh. Yeah, what a great concuss to just end the bloodthirsty fury of Lunar Mew as he takes out several in a row there, absolutely storming the castle. But that was an absolutely ridiculous move there by the Tour de Force. user where he took one out, teleported in the next slide.
Yeah, Ken.
And then took one out of midair. And the person in midair was using the, here it is. This was an ult breaker.
Man, that is insane.
Yeah.
That
And it was
quick
like
reaction
Hail Mary
time.
shot into the corner and took nobody. Using the tour de force as an ult breaker is so good, and an ult like that takes so long to charge, that's just upsetting.
Nick is going to think about hopefully not making the same mistake twice here. Is going to try to close off bats and this time not get caught out by being lifted up. See Lunar Mew here is just kind of eyeing Hookah, trying to get some jiggle peeks in there. No one has pushed up that far though. Majibus is way back though on B, keeping an eye on Hookah. Might get a double peek here if he's playing off his rage. Unfortunately looks at the wrong way. And he didn't need to reload there.
Yep, holding out with that that utility is always nice for like a decent bait and switch, but looks like they made it past Moonkeeper's eye and were able to take him from the side. Quaxil getting another one down onto Pryor, bringing it to a 4-4. Still so spread out. They can't get any decent rotation in because Bath is still under fire here. We may even see a Jiggle Peak catch over the fence. No chance, actually. Looks like he's going to be moving out with Simply on their way to B site.
Chamber keeping an eye on short. It's going to be both Chambers facing off against each other here, but Ken has been holding down this angle really well so far. Jabe lost the fight to him, of course. There goes out Nightfall there, and they're going to block off the view from Lamps. They move on, and this is the plant right here. Moonkeeper trying to get a clear off them is going to throw out the Hawk there, able to get the blind, moves in, but Simply is able to play around, and there goes the Orbital Strike right onto point. Going to try to buy some time for the Ghost. Simply then says, okay, I'm going to plant over here. Low to the left. Look out for that showstopper. Majibus pulls it off. And it's been insane how many ults have been used. Jake wins, taking out Ken. And Lunar Mew also gets a pick. Knights now looking much better in their post-plant situation, only having to play around Majibus, who isn't able to take them out. They tie it up 5-5.
I appreciate people actually using their ults here. It seems like an absolute ult dump sometimes, but when in for a penny and in for a pound, and don't let those ults sit on the block too long, using 2 orbital strikes as well as this little bazooka. Oh, getting so much value because that was such a great position there. It was not multitasking angles because they had cover from either direction. They were on the bomb and they were able to watch both hallway and heaven. That was just such a power position, and being able to recognize that and then an ult needs to take care of that was good play from both teams.
Moonkeeper with an interesting pick on the Marshall here. It's going to have to be kind of a save round, it looks like, for the Ghost. Whoa! That's exactly why you want to have crosshair placement.
Yeah.
But he was putting the crosshair placement where it normally would be. Wasn't expecting them to be on top of Fountain.
Oh yeah, 2 different off angles. Not something you want to see inside your crosshair. Lunar Mew with a good hold on to 1. Looking to move on 2. It happens. Getting ready for this 3rd one. Might look the wrong way for a little bit. They're going to double up on him, so Nick goes down, and that's another round for the attacking side Knights.
There.
Hey, we're almost to halftime here, and it could very well just be tied up 6-6.
But an even half is not a fair half, so we could move right into a round where suddenly someone has a huge advantage on that turf, and it goes absolutely landslide.
Just going to see how it works out here. Yeah, Ghosts unfortunately had to save that round, but they did it so that they can buy everything they can right before half. So they're going to have a full purchase here.
You want to play? Let's
Tour
play.
de Force used by Knights. Knives also available. And that res, which hasn't been used by the Ghosts at all, that's been sitting with them. So if there's any time to use it, it's now, because they're going to lose it next round. Nick is going to rotate over. Yeah, it seems like the call is going out towards B. Trade back and forth to make it 4-4. Axel throwing a molly around elbow just to keep that flank angle at bay. Happy is going to go off for the post plant here. Gets caught by the Prowler, Nick does. Of course, Nick is in the unfortunate situation of can't res because that elimination took place right on B, so he just can't go out into the middle there.
Knights feeling a little bit crowded on stage here as they walk in circles. Nick looking to take one out, move in with Moonkeeper against Lunar Mew here. Just watching that backside. It's a lot of checking back and forth. Lunar's going to find one as he really feels the pressure from both sides. Ooh, finally stares down the hallway again, which gets a double to clean up the round for the Ghosts. but it's not going to happen. He doesn't have the time. The Knights, they played correctly, and that's a round for them again.
Not that I don't think he would have had the time anyway, but that's the case of that slow off the Tour de Force coming in very handy there.
Yeah, excellent done by the Knights. Understanding the win con and just being able to kind of hide out in the middle and run around. You don't want a lot of eye contact. You're just checking the doors. It feels like you're playing Five Nights at Freddy's when you're trying to hold this site and just play for time, knowing that you're going to go either by spike or by gun.
Yeah, that slow it's so good in the doorway. Not only did it just buy them enough time, but it guarantees that it's going to be a slow peek out. You can't go for a wide peek there or rush around, and that's the worst place to be in if you're going up against a well-set-up Sentinel.
No, limiting your opponent's options is as good as having more options yourself.
Now we go on to the pistol rounds again as we are at halftime. Knights lead just by 2 rounds in 7-5, but it's still anyone's game as Ghost. We're going to see how well they are at attacking. Interesting, a couple fires given off by Simply TD into short here.
Yeah, just letting him know what he's... Oh, no! That was so close, but he was pixels off, piercing the air of Ken, but Ken takes him all the way out. Simply TD making a real hole in the forces there, lets them move right up into A short. This smoke is not going to be enough to hold him back. Nick decides to go flying straight in. I'm surprised he didn't go down to any of the people watching that wall. There's so much happening in that choke point. Nick keeps forcing right on over Majabis, then going short, trying to take care of some people here.
Oh, that's so well played!
A beautiful paint shells, but it's punished. Pryor absolutely caught from the stomach. Majabis coming straight up. Nick playing aggressive on a Jabe here, but he's punished from Happy as he tries to flee back into the open space. Looks like a good rotate has come out by Majabis as he gets a free plant on, but he's got 2 coming in from different angles. If he can take one out, it's an easy one-on-one where he has the clock advantage, but right now it's not feeling so comfortable. Hopefully, Jabe has the patience to wait for this to come in at the right time with Happy.
Also has the health advantage with both of them, so as long as he can isolate it down to 1v1s, not 2v2s, he has to be careful he doesn't peek out here, because that's what the Knights want. They want to get this 2-on-1. He's caught.
Oh, no. It was so close.
Oh, that was risky.
It was, and without even counting to 3, without even having the real cooperation right there, they were just able to take it on gunplay alone.
Yeah, that was the best chance that Majabis had to still win that round there. He wanted to get a one-on-one as close range as he could with the friends. He didn't end up winning it, but that was the best chance that he had.
It was, which it was lucky for him and unlucky for him.
So now we move on. We're in the second pistol round, as it were. Marshall is going to be brought out by Simply here.
So is the Judge by Pryor. So we're seeing a little bit of a cheese round here. Also going close with the Spectre. This could be a Knight's rush. Let's see how it goes. Looks like they are going to go fairly aggressive, but it's the wrong site, so maybe they can get a good flank in here as long as they haven't been too loud. Looks like the Ghosts are feeling some of that same pistol energy as they come flying in. Jabe works off that flash and is now in a great spot to catch Majabis, but Moonkeeper replies on to Happy.
Unfortunately, by moving all the way through Hookah, Pryor is not probably... Oh, how did he make that work?
He's crazy.
That's insane. I was just about to say that's probably the one route I do not want to go with a Judge on through Hookah because it's such a long sideline. But still was able to make it work.
There's so much sand to run across before you've really cornered anyone, and still he gets 2.5 kills. 2 kills and an assist onto the spike, plus a replant. Like, after that, I don't care how many credits I've got, I'm requesting a gun for that man.
That is insane.
Unbelievable.
How come my Judge never does that well?
Yeah, I mean, if I'm feeling real gutsy, I'd force that with a Bucky and just hover hard on the right click. But goodness, a Judge, he was energized.
I could be 1 foot away when I'm playing with the Judge and still don't take him down. But apparently, the
confidence is key, I guess.
Judge is the new op.
Oh, man, maybe not for long. Pryor, with this newfound confidence, gets in and takes Coaxial, but they reply, and now it's a 4v4 with little information gained. Looks like they're going to keep playing aggressive here. Catches a trail on the Moonkeeper, but they just can't play off of it. It's too deep. So instead, they start moving around to Bath, and they do find one. Lunar Mew going down in front of Bath means they're kind of spread thin. The Knights are on this site. Ken is looking at a great position here. Jabe tries to play against it as Ken backs off. The site goes back into the Knight's hand, but it's fine. They've counted the cards, and the Ghosts know how empty B site is. Happy knows as well, so he comes flying in, able to take one, almost to two, but the ADS isn't quick enough. Those paint shells go out, and it's just 2 health for him. He's got to back way off. This plant comes out. Ooh, an orbital strike would be so nice now, but it's just too early in the rounds.
Chamber here looks like he's thinking about this teleport, but looks like he's waiting for the rendezvous. He's waiting from the word from his teammate. It's going to be tough there. Oh, and he's only at 2 health.
He just cannot play with anything here. Is this a save for you if you're playing as Happy? He was 2 health playing against a 1v2 with a time disadvantage and a slow.
Yeah, it might have been better to go with a save there. I'm kind of surprised that round turned out the way it was, because that initial trade between Majibus and Pryor and Coaxial, excuse me. You know, you lose one of your duelists, but they took out their controller, which if you're a team that's going to go pushing on point, I would imagine taking away those brim smokes would make it a lot harder for the attacking team to get onto point. They still found a way to do it, but if that's the point and I'm on the defending team, I would say, hey, I traded out. They're going to have no smokes here, you know, keep more of a defensive position, because now you have control of all of the sidelines.
Yep. Ooh, Pryor here still feeling cocky. Decides to go up with the shorty and hold this Bath angle tight. He's right. People have been moving pretty aggressively into Bath, and Lunar might even be able to switch a beautiful bait and switch. If he can stay hidden now, it may have all been worth it. Let's see if they decide to go for it. Lunar Mew also setting up for that second switch, but they almost take it. There it is. He's going to get a free one. Pops out for the second one. He jumps. It's not quite there. He jumps. He gets a beautiful headshot, but Pryor is still taken down. Simply TD on the other side of the map takes on Amajabis. Moonkeeper now knows the site is clear. Not the site, the Bath is clear, and is able to get in and get the spike, but everybody has rotated over time now, less than a minute, and the site is full of both sides. A quick little molly to keep things at bay, and Nick moves on to Simply TD, now a 2v2 with 1 orbital strike on the map, and there it goes. Not going to catch a lot of utility, but it does open up a space. Nick so close, almost had that one for free. Maybe a little bit of hiccup. Jabe takes on to Nick there. Coaxial takes one. It's a 1v1 now. Jabe looking for this one. Oh, sees the feet, but doesn't make the adjustment. Wow. And there it is. Coaxial gets this nice plant in the last couple seconds for a free 300 creds.
Yeah, that was very crucial. He was down to 5 health, so he had to have the perfect engage. Of course, this is the moment. Just waiting. I'm surprised he waited that way. I mean, I get it. You want to try to wait to take him out, but if there's 2 people rushing that, you only have 2 shots with the shorty, so you got to be perfect with each of them.
You do. Yeah, a little scary there. I don't know if I would have played aggressive onto the second one, but I loved that bait and switch. It was a little bit hard committed at the beginning, so it almost didn't come to fruition. It did work out, though, and now critical is the name of the game as Ghosts take their 0.7 against the Knights having 9. So all of the ults are coming out now. Look at this early rocket. He knows. Oh, so close. Just a little bit earlier would have had it, but he jumps back out and holds it up with the judge. Man, Pryor is feeling on fire right now and keeps going down after his first kill. Won't learn his lesson. It's so upsetting when you just want a piece of the action, so you go in rough to begin with and you get punished for it. And the next round you want a piece of the action. You can't let that snowball. Machavis goes down to Lunar Mew and Nick replies. It's now a 3v3. We've seen so many one fights that are followed up on. Playing off contact is beautiful and I love it, but don't let the other team get that for free. You should know that they're doing that as well, and these 1v1 trades are happening over and over again. Ghost now. Nick, having your healer be the last one on board, unfortunately it happens often, and there's just nothing you could do about it. Simply TD takes a free one with the knives onto him from the side there, and it's another point for the Knights. It's not looking good for the Ghosts. If you're them, what would you change? But don't.
Well, at this point, I think one thing they need to keep in mind is we're seeing Majibus so reliably go for these very aggressive peaks. So if that's a habit that the Knights are having, kind of maybe a bad habit, because if you're going to be throwing your person out there for a 1-1 trade, you got to make sure that that trade is favorable. You got to be trading the right roles too. So Ghosts, if they can keep in mind that, hey, this race is going to rush us every single time, then maybe they can set up a more favorable trade for themselves.
Yeah, no, I like appreciating the favorability of trades. You can't treat this like checkers. It's a lot more like chess. You have different pieces which are good in different scenarios, and depending on the round and the people you're playing against, some people are pawns and some people are better than.
Yep.
Look at this ult economy. I'd love to see the Ghost drop one of these pretty soon. Maybe some Sky for information here, if nothing else.
Oh, wow. Quick dash over there. They now know where he is. Going to throw down the smoke to try to get away. Now it's going to be facing up against Pryor with that tour de force, with that op actually, and gets it.
He has the Cloudburst drop. That is not a great position to be in. The Ops love staring down that box. Majbis looking to get into a better position. Speaking of which, Moonkeeper is smoothing right in onto the site. It looks like a real switch. Just check that minimap. So much yellow on the side. Happy is all by his own. He has to switch targets 2 times, takes one but goes down. Nick with a free plant here on an empty site, now playing a 2v3. The trails come out.
Well, we were
finally that res.
Talking about the ult economy, and this is what does it for them. Not only getting the Seekers, but the res to push themselves. There goes the ult, though, that Knights have. They're going to push Nightfall out. Going to give the Knights a little bit more information.
We're going to see a cooperative heal from one healer onto the other. I like seeing that. Getting the health of the team up. There goes down one.
Enemy remaining.
Another, and that's game. Ghost taking one more, bringing it to an 8-10, and it's so close for them. They just need 1 or 2 more, but as soon as the Knights get to 11, the pace of the game changes and kind of moves into phase 3.
Also, very crucial that they won that round there. Because Pryor had poured so many credits into getting an op, I have to wonder if the Ghosts picked that up, because that would be a huge econ swing over in their favor. And interesting that we saw Pryor the one with the op. The Raze was opping instead of the Jet.
Which is usually strange enough as it is, but I mean, you have to have like popped some melatonin before doing that, considering he was playing some serious judge plays, like aggressive first blood judge plays, and then decides to drop to an op on Raze. I mean, I appreciate flexibility and like position and gun flexibility, but that is such a shakeup for the team.
It completely demands that you're perfect in your aim.
It does.
That's the only thing that you can bail out. You don't have the teleport or the dash away when you're opping as anyone other than Jet
and
or
I mean,
Chamber.
Not only do you lose more ability on the op, but using that op loses ability on your utility. You can't use paint shells from that distance. You can't use blast pack from that distance. I mean, this is a double-edged sword here.
Happy now going to place down a few smokes. As Ghosts, they only have one person through. Oh, look at this! Pryor might be they're trying to outflank each other, we see here through Market. Who's going to get out? Pryor walks past. It's so good for the Brim. If he doesn't look back.
Oh, he turns back around, though. Brim has got him. Oh. No. Pryor does take him, and now he's able to flank up into the rest of the squad, but they already know he's coming, so we see Nick turned around and ready for it. Ooh, they're going to take Jade, though. Nick now ready for Pryor, but Pryor's too quick. Ken is able to reply, though, and solidify that 9-10 score. That's critical. A 2-point gap means that there's a chance, if you keep walking 1 point at a time up, that you can make it out without an overtime. But as we get into a 1-point gap, there's a chance that you have to push it into overtime, and the pace of the game kind of changes, especially if some players are better at long-term play than others.
It's not good knowing that you have to play perfectly to avoid the overtime.
No, it's not. It's not a good feeling.
Now here goes Pryor again on the Marshall this time. I am just so fascinated that Pryor is kind of the designated sniper here.
Yeah. Sometimes it feels like he's back to rolling a d20 to decide what gun he plays, but it's not like he's in the bad position for the guns. It's not like he doesn't get any good play off of it, so maybe he's just trying to be, you know, kind of an off pick and a strange handle to play against the Ghost. You know, keep him on their toes. Never let him know your next move. Looks like we've got Spike in pocket and a standard fan from the Ghost playing nice and slow, hoping for some aggression from the Knights, which they're not going to get this round. The Knights do not tug on that fishing line. Might see a little bit of a push here as Jiggle Peaks get antsy on B side. Sure enough, going to test that 50-50 with the nice little paint shells. Starts to move into sight. Oh, no, Nick punished as someone trying to rotate. Excellently played. Quaxu and Majabis each finding their one as well. And this might be a beautiful sweep from the Ghost just for slowing down. Lunar Mew also in an awkward position, though. Both shots land, and he moves up, bonusing a Phantom mid-round. Excellently played. Going to start trying to walk things through Teleporter, but it's not going to happen. An unfortunate haunt place. Lunar Mew now has to kind of bait all the way in. Good understanding of typical holds. I love this move. Lunar Mew is looking good on this check-in, but caught just right between the ice. Coaxial finds him.
This is one of those types of rounds where I really would have wanted to hear what the comms were in there. Because I'm still wondering what Happy thought that he needed to take that risky a rotation out. because man, when there's still so many people left, just walking down short like that to try to get to the teleport, not only are you taking a risky route, but you're taking a route that's going to have a huge sound queue that anyone could just very easily flank you. So there was something that Happy thought that, okay, I'm going to get such a good flank on them. Through Hookah, I'm going to take this very risky teleport.
Yeah,
I just wonder what that was.
It seemed to us like high risk and low reward. But if he didn't understand the positioning, one positioning change all of a sudden means he has a clean walk through short onto a lot of people. So I think that was just not very much happening in the comms.
Probably, yeah.
In any event, they're going to run it back a little bit because they were so well executed that time. So they're all in a nice gentle fan, a little bit further back on the B, and I appreciate that. Still Spike in pocket, holding it pretty well in A. Looks like we've got one go down. Happy.
There's the redemption from Happy there.
That's the catalyst for a little bit of move here. Starting to have that utility come out. Moonkeeper not ready for the jump on that boombot. I know it can be weird since back in the beta they changed it so the boombot actually jumps up. That's been a rough
That's
fix.
actually pretty good for Pryor there because that means that Pryor is able to one-shot him on the Marshall now. It took enough damage away.
The Ghosts aren't in a great position, though. Having one down is a little uncomfortable. Not as bad as the Knights being one down for the Knights, but they're not winning on ult economy either, losing that.
Oh, my.
Speaking of which,
Clear
excellently timed. How do you feel about using that to ward people off from the plant instead of waiting halfway through the plant to try to catch one? Like using it very defensively.
Well, I mean, you can buy a little bit more time for them, I would assume, probably, if you wait halfway through the plant. So I would probably wait to play off the audio queue a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm not in that situation. Coaxial's in a rough situation right now. Unfortunately, having to go up against the Pryor, who committed on the op, isn't going to pay for it right now. So now this has to be a win here for the Ghosts.
Yeah, and if the Ghosts do win, we're in what I like to think of as effective overtime. Because an 11-11 is still a win by 2. So you kind of get that add-in kind of feel when one of them takes a round. So hopefully the Ghosts are able to pull this together. However, the Knights, just taking another point would put them over the finish line.
Did look like the Ghosts did have enough for full buys. I saw a lot of Marshals and Phantoms. Pryor with that op has to be going to take probably an aggressive peek here through Bavs on the op. This is so interesting the way Pryor plays these.
I've got your trail.
Gonna throw out the Seekers and get on the point, bring out the Showstopper themselves. Oh, unfortunately messes up on that, gets caught by the Rendezvous. That Seeker should let them know they're pushed up through Bass, and now those smokes are gonna work against them.
I like the Avalanche rush onto site kind of feel, but you first have to probe a couple things out, otherwise you get absolutely caught. Right now they don't own very much of the site, and they can't push any further without getting into dangerous angles, so they're really holed up in this area, and once that ice wall comes out, it's made solid and obvious. Moonkeeper and Majabis do prove me wrong by taking a free 2. Moving on to Simply TD as well, it's looking like a flawless.
That was, I think that was a huge major miscalculation trying to take that flank through Baths here. They took it so that they could gain that one angle, but in doing so, they left short wide open for the Ghosts to just charge on. Very unfortunate. One of those things where you try to, you predict the coin flip and you guess wrong. They take the other route.
Yeah, you can't take all the 50-50s, but that's all right. The Ghosts are lucky to have made it through there. I won't give it to luck alone there. Gunplay has been pretty phenomenal, and being able to keep cool all the way down to a 10-10 is this slow crawl. Just tit for tat goes all the way down to an effective overtime here in 11-11.
Very crucial. I think I saw someone with the stinger there, if I'm not mistaken, which I would guess would be the Knights, and that is not a situation you want to be in, not forced to a full buy here at a point like this.
It's very true. Oh, very close, but so much happening all at once. Majabis gets a couple fires out across the way, but through the smokes, does drop that paint shells. Majabis now marked and decayed, as many of his teammates are. Oh, they're just trying to group together here so they can really rely less on their audio senses. They're going to lose Nick to the Molly. So well placed. Happy then. Pryor does go down to Coaxial. Coaxial with low health. Trying to move in here, does still have that orbital strike. That can be used well. Don't be the forefront when you have the utility. Going to get that heal out from Sky. Very important. Looking for a little bit of a rotation here as B has been wide open and the Knights know it. Ken's able to make a move onto Lunar Mew. It's not looking fantastic. Ken does get the tour de force out, but I don't see them using it this round. Quack still finds his third on a happy NA as the rotations are really solidifying. Ghosts still own this site so much, and the Knights have job to try to move on to maybe catch 1 or 2, maybe even just an outro, maybe a save. You're getting so close to the end of the game, though. It's hard to save. You don't want to give up any ground like this, so he's just watching every angle. Waiting for a miscalculation is not going to happen. The Moonkeeper, watching his sight, is able to take him out.
And this is where we have the benefit of seeing where everyone is there.
True.
But it was very crucial there. I think Jabe just waited too long there. By the time he went for that flank from behind, they'd already planted the spike and could set up their post-plant angles. The flank really would have been better if he had come out a little bit sooner and been able to take someone out.
And I mean, step at a time is a slippery slope to that situation, but it really is an anxiety-inducing situation to be in.
This is just a Hail Mary if I have ever seen one.
Watch and learn.
Happy may really be punished for this one. It looks like he was poised to come pouring through. He might be able to catch 1 or 2 in. Oh, doesn't look like he's going to play too aggressive. He's just waiting on that 50-50 for now. Looks like Simply TD is the one that's playing most aggressively. Actually, Pryor up in the stands. This is a good bait and switch. Hopefully TD keeps making noise and trying to pull some out. That Judge might catch some ears if he can make a little bit of eye contact. Wow, he's able to take Nick, and the bait goes well. Oh, but Pryor's a little bit too quick. He does take one before going down to Quack, so it's a 3v3 now, and the site's open. This rotation is not looking good as 2 men are still on B. There's only 1 person to watch this site, and they know where he's at.
And this is technically not a true 3v3 because you have to remember that Chamber has a Bucky. If they don't know he has that, but they have such an advantage over him.
Oh, this flank guard is doing well. This should be an easy. Oh, no shot. Jabe takes him out and keeps walking up. This is an awful flank for Ken. He's not in a great position and gets absolutely swarmed now. Knights, all they've got to do is defuse for a 12v12.
Here we go. We're in overtime now.
Send the alarms.
All right, it's a must-win by 2 situation.
Switching sides. Overtime.
For now.
Knights are going to be placed back on attack here. Anything can happen. And unfortunately, I think here Pryor was counting. I mean, they still won, but it would have been nice. Pryor was counting on being able to trade 2 for 1 here with the Judge. Now, because it's overtime, everyone is going to have a full buy.
Teleport's ready.
Moving here, it looks like the Knights are just grouping up to charge through Hookah here. I don't know, they're going to split out. A couple are going to go through Fountain. Yeah, now Chamber's going to keep an eye here on short as well. Just keep that option open for them. Moves in. Not picking anything off of the bomb bot quite yet.
Ooh, a good paint shells. I like that. You should use the paint shells as a molly, trying to really milk people out of awkward places, not always going for the kill. It looks like they didn't like the information they got there, and they're going to start moving on to short. A great read as the Ghosts all walk the wrong way. Knights, if you can push hard here, you can take so much ground. It looks like a last-second turnaround here as they don't really feel a lot of noise on the wrong side. Moonkeeper giving away their position, trying to take this man out. Gonna find it. Pryor going down is huge. Moonkeeper gets a great heal. Happy gets that plant.
Throws out the dog to look through the smoke. Give the Ghosts some information as they re-rotate through. Going to push the slow out toward the bath store as well. That kind of traps 2 members of the Knights there, too.
Ooh, a beautiful one by Jabe. Looking to double it up. Not quite in the position to do so. A good molly from Happy onto that spike, giving a little bit of defensive pressure. Happy now being swarmed absolutely by a healed Majbase. He's going to find him. And it's just 1 left. Simply's got a full world to fight, and look at all that utility that goes out. In an overtime situation, you're kind of in like phase 3 or 4 where the energy changes again. You've got the pistol rounds where you can be high energy, you don't have a lot to lose. The full gun rounds where you have to be careful, you're watching creds as they go on. And then this overtime where you have large guns, but you can waste all of it.
And
so,
I really liked what we saw just a little bit earlier there with the Sage throwing the ice out there into the doorway before Baths, because that effectively split the team up. It meant that the Knights couldn't engage on them with more than 2. And so being able to take, 2 whole team members out of your engagements and make sure that both of those both of your fights have favorable numbers for you was very crucial for the Ghosts.
Yeah, and these utility dumps right here are being really well synergized. We saw that paint shells actually be throwing at the same time that slow orb fell right on the last man. So through all the gunfire, it was hard to see, but that was a beautiful little utility trap.
Pryor with a sneaky off angle here towards B. Has the right ideas. There are 3 there looking to rush on, and that dog is going to give him even more information. Pryor, though, no.
It's not looking great for the Ghosts here. They're under serious fire and trying to retreat, but look at that.
Look at the wall bang here.
Oh, goodness. The wall bang fight. Why peek when you could just wall bang? Jabe has different ideas. Looking to move around. He can't see what we see, so he doesn't know that he's so close to so many people. Nick, just trying to get another slow orb and keep people in the back.
The problem with that wallbang strategy is the spike's already planted, and it's taking an awful lot of time away from the Knights.
It does. An awful lot of time indeed. It is so close, and the Ghosts just have to waste a little bit more time, and there it is.
With the molly, too. Wow. Yeah, great job from the Ghosts there. What a round to open this up.
Oh, definitely.
That has me very excited for how things are going to go moving forward. You know, going at it alone can only get you so far. Ultimately, if you want to increase your chances of success, you have to level up your teaming skills. Certainly saw that in the Ghosts in those final couple of rounds, how they use their abilities with each other to get those favorable 2-on-1s. You can see how talented they are, and Esports Tower really takes the time to create teams of well-matched teammates. I'd like to do a shout-out to Coach Halter, and for those of you watching who haven't checked out Esports Tower Clubs, you should. It's the fast track to rank up. Well, the Ghosts take game 1. We're going to head to Breeze with the Ghosts on match point, looking to advance to the finals. But before we get to that, we're going to take a short break and be back. You're not going to want to miss this one. These two teams are so evenly matched, it could go either way. So we'll take a break.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
We're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
A rogue virus. No jobs. Sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
This week's broadcast of Esports Tower Rumble in Valorant, broadcasting from Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Welcome back to week 2 of the Esports Summer Tower Rumble. We will wrap up our Rumble we will wrap up the first semifinals we have right now. As the Ghosts are taking on the Knights. Ghosts are up 1-0 in this best of 3. So can they finish off with the 2-0 sweep of the Knights and advance to the grand finals? We'll find out. I'm your host, Jacob Jem Palmer, joined by Greg Olsol-Smith. As the next map that we're looking to go on to here is Breeze. So going on to the widest open map in the game, basically.
Yeah, it is the widest open map in the game, but there's also a couple of tight corners, and I'm really looking forward to seeing Pryor jump between the judge and the marshal on this one. Whoever he picks, I know he's going to do it.
Well, we'll just have to see how it's going to work out. But before we do, we just want to give a special congratulations out to all the Esports Tower Club members who have gotten scholarships across the country. And you can see that these teams have been extremely talented in that regard. Over $1.6 million between all of the games that each of these players have. Can tell that these teams are very talented and have earned these scholarships and opportunities across the country. We could not be more happy and proud of them for all the work that they've done. So thank you so much for Esports Tower for providing these opportunities for these students. They've worked hard not only on their in-game play, but academically and earned the scholarship opportunities, like I just said. We cannot be more excited and proud to see all the opportunities these players are getting. And now to help out these players in the current match that we're seeing play at their best, we have Doc's keys to the game once again in Valorant, and that's to flank effectively, spend and peek wisely, count cards and call abilities, and of course click heads. Brought to you by Esports Tower. Score Pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Well, as the Ghosts took game 1, we'll see if they can finish off with that 2-0 sweep of the Knights and advance to the grand finals. So we are ready to go into Breeze here and see overall what the picks are going to be. So what's most interesting for the Ghosts, actually, as the team in the lead, is they actually have a new roster combination with 10 players practicing together this week. But it certainly looks like it's working out for them. Looks like we do see a swap over here. Ghosts are going to be on the right side this time instead of the left, with Coaxel on the right. Kind of see already the customary Viper pick for Breeze.
Select
Very
your
typical. I
agent.
expect to see that one mirrored entirely. KO is also a typical pick here, and this is a good spot for people to start to move. When you have a better mid in a map, then people like to pick Arena as well. We're going to abuse the heck out of this Riot 0 here, and there comes the full
actually
fuse.
Going with the Yoru, Moonkeeper.
Moonkeeper clearly making a mistake and clicking on the Yoru on accident. It's all right.
Thing is, Dallin isn't here for production.
It's sad.
He's like the biggest Yoru fan on our production team, and the one day he misses, they pick Yoru.
It's
Dallin, this is why you have perfect attendance, okay? This is a lesson to everyone out there. School, job, perfect attendance pays off.
I think it's bold that he's picking this Yoru. Even though the buff has come out, he still has a pick rate very close to like 0. This is going to be a map that I would choose him on if I was going to choose him on a map,
and
considering these long hallways.
At the pro play level, he's seen some success.
He has. Yeah, and I think Riot actually does a good job of catering both to, to all different levels of elo in their adjustments to the players here. So we may not see him picked very often in my matches, but in the pro matches, he is seeing success.
This is so exciting.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever seen I don't know if I've even casted a game with Yoru on a team. It's been so long. Oh, thank you, Ghosts.
I'm definitely looking forward to see how they decide to synergize the utility from Yoru with the other teams, and I wonder if they're choosing it because they want to piggyback off of the things they've seen in the Valorant Champions Tour recently. It looks like this is going to be a nice A-hold. It feels like that's the default for everyone. In fact, I'm surprised. I'm not surprised we have a 3-2 with a very, very narrow-looking angle onto that hold into A. Looks like as that wall comes out, things are going to change a little bit. They're getting nice and close, though. A quick wall. Whoa, happy, considering playing very nice and aggressive here. This is going to be set up for a good bait and switch, and as the audio cues come out, the wall is considering going up. They're waiting a little bit, though. Both
Yeah,
of these
it's gonna
toxic
bail on
screens
that.
are down.
Oh,
The
actually
wall's
did
broken
throw out
right
the
through.
wall.
It is, yeah, and then we have that ice out. Oh,
Throws
a little bit of a scary
unfortunately
flash.
blinds himself, but not going to pay for it too much. Can just reload, and they're actually going to rotate over here. Problem is they're going to run into Simply here on this white flag. Unfortunately, Simply's holding a frenzy, and this is not the angle you want to use a frenzy.
No, it's very true. I appreciate him going wide, trying to catch Moonkeeper from a closer distance here. It might happen. Moonkeeper coming right around is being watched by this frenzy from a distance.
Oh my
wow,
goodness.
absolutely dirty. And look at that frenzy
Yeah, I
distance
know,
being
you're just
absolutely
not
punished.
gonna-
Nope.
yeah.
Coaxial with a Sheriff 2.0 called the Headhunter is going to take him out no problems. Man, just definitely get a lot closer on that one. Pryor with a beautiful flash, though, catches quite a bit of himself. He's got to run it back. A much better that time, but just not quite going to catch him. Gets a good dink, but looking into the eyes of 3 people where one's not flashed, it was bold that he stayed that long to begin with. Happy with only 70 health has got to watch this site. Some people with full health and half shields come parading on in.
30
The
seconds
Knights,
left.
only 3 people left to defend this site with 1 down as Majabis comes flying in with the Ghosts.
And also, if my eyes
Spike
don't
planted.
deceive me, I believe I saw the Yoru place his portal back there, so if they get that this Fade is rotating through, potentially the Yoru can rotate back here. But he's not going for it right now, and again, he might have just canceled it or it's destroyed. Either way, they're just going to be more than happy to just set up on post plant here, get all of the angles locked down. The Fire's in a rough position here. Gets the
player
blinded,
standing.
but Nick was hanging back to be able to take him on.
No, the Ghosts had an excellent post-plant scenario hold onto that. In fact, I probably would have saved both of those Knights players if I had known what their positioning was like. They had like semi-crossfire onto both halls there just because they were able to play right between them without actually having anyone between the doors. Just good understanding of map there.
Goes off to a good start here in the lead.
Yep, Ghost definitely looking to make this 3-round stretch with a flawless first round. Unfortunately, we didn't see a team be able to do that last time. We've had some real bonus breakers in this bout between the Knights and the Ghosts that are well fit for each other in some scenarios. Ooh, whoa, what a gamble. Looks like we have a hard run through A. Not going to be paid off there as we have some flank guard here in the mid. That's just a good hold by the Ghosts, having 2 in the middle as they realize that as B's empty, they can run all the way to A. Defensive, caught a little bit off guard, lose a player there, start to spread out. Still holding into tube, though. Already a free plant, and they've got to make it all the way through mid and all the way up through site. One person has a better placement advantage and might catch this person here. Oh, catches him with utility out and already makes eye contact with Happy. This is a great catalyst to be moving straight in. It doesn't look like they want to play too aggressive, which is good. Good understanding of where the win con is. It's not in the kills. It's in letting the spike go off. And there's a second one. The knife coming out. A little bit too late. Montevis taking his 4th to lead the flawless for a second round. This is going to be a smooth bonus for the Ghosts.
A nice job here. I wasn't quite sure what was happening with that first initial play there by the Sky.
The rough.
Can you decipher what they were trying to do? Because they rotated down through the trapdoor with a shorty in their hands.
Yeah,
so
it happens.
maybe they were thinking someone had already set up there, or I don't know. Overall, they're just going to have to regain their composure. Majabis staying on this Ares, which he's already very comfortable with. In fact, they're not going for a full buy here. They're going for the bonus with the weapons they have.
Moving smooth into B's site here. Nobody really sees it happening. The wall comes up.
Toxin screen down.
Toxin screen punishing already. Jabe has to pull their toxin screen down to save on smoke. Pryor goes down in the main. Montevis looking to really scare people off, and that intimidity pays. Got people in mid just watching things simply. Having a rough time trying to get into this site here. Moonkeeper going to come around and assist. Bam. Watching the back of this site here. One person might be coming around. Montevis so strong with that Ares. Looking to take care of Lunar Mule. Might not happen. Oh, there it is. He sure does.
Oh,
the utility was not allowed. Ooh, Happy just going to be the last one to make it happen after 3 people go down.
No, it's a Sage doesn't have the heal available here, so you got the person advantage, you got the ability to just take him out from long range, and that's exactly what Coaxial does on the Bulldog.
Yeah, Coaxial catching a 3K to furnish that round. Looking at a 3-0.
Yeah, I
wouldn't feeling comfortable.
I wouldn't complain if he just kept the Ares the whole game. It's my favorite gun in the game.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know, rinse and repeat.
I mean, hey, you go on Breeze and everyone expects you to be bringing out the Vandals and the Ops, and just go in Ares and they don't expect it.
You know, a well-timed off-pick can be better than the meta.
At this point, at this point, we still don't see a full buy from the Knights. I believe I saw a Marshall over by Pryor. And the Ghosts have demonstrated that as long as the Knights go on these kind of off picks and not a full buy, they're really comfortable playing.
We're going to have that fake Guru go out. Doesn't catch a lot of punish, though. Moonkeeper lets it walk right into him. Catches one. Wow, in total blind. He's doing excellent. Several marching onto site here as it's looking very free. A couple watching them back are going to find one, and that's the last. Another flawless round for the Ghosts. Ghosts have gotten 3 out of their 4 points to be flawless, and they're playing against 0. The Knights, though, have been saving their creds for a rainy day, and this might be it.
Yeah, but saving it for 4 rounds, I mean, that's a lot more than normal.
Could be going for the old 5-op strat.
Yeah, might be going. Maybe. I mean, maybe they're placing that much faith in it since we're playing on Breeze.
You never know.
See, Learner Mew
Stay
here.
focused.
They got they're still saving Ibana. They're still saving the Knights. They haven't had a full buy yet.
I commit to the bit, I suppose. It looks like they're very spread out this time, though, in just a beautiful fan across the map. It does make it difficult. When one goes down, you have a huge hole in your guard here. And there may be that catalyst for a hole in the guard. Looks like they're going to move right on, and Lunar Mew standing strong on the Knights side A. The toxic screen. The Viper's pit coming out. Nick going in for the plant. Moonkeeper does catch one on a happy. Pryor going to make that rotation nice and quick with one more. All 3 of them moving slow back. Ooh, that teleport, I believe, is back there still. Oh, no, he was so close. The timing was just barely off. A little bit longer, and he could have caught 3 of them. Instead, he goes down to simply Pryor going to find one on Ken. Ooh, but still, just checking fresh angles with utility in hand is not the move. Majabis taking care of all the utility coming his way. Absolutely strong. Gets out of the way of that Prowler, going to rotate back through. But in the time he was gone, Nick took Lunar Mew. It's not looking good for the Knights. He's not playing on his turf. Simply TD's got a lot to go against here. He's not. Ooh. Does find an outro through the wall. Expertly done. Gonna get in for a quick last second defuse, but unfortunately you need a last 4-second defuse to make it happen. So attackers take their 5th round. Not flawless. In fact, if the Knights had bought some more gun, maybe they could have made it happen.
That was incredibly risky for the Yoru here to take this aggressive up a teleport.
Yes.
I mean, you've already got the spike down. You can just set up your post-plant angles. He was definitely trying to go for a very cheeky kind of highlight-worthy play, but it just chose the worst time to teleport.
It was just, I think it was a character miscount, because if he was like, oh, the sky's coming around and we got a flash, both of them are back there and close, and then jumped, and he was already like level on the head. It would have been flawless if we didn't have that beautiful flank guard. Ooh, taking care of that. Oh, the recon bolt does catch one on the first ping. They're going to start moving in. Moonkeeper sending that orb off, and the slow is going to come in. Nick checking all the right angles, gets a free one onto Happy and A. That takes care of their healer right off the bat. Lunar waits just a second too long and gets a good shot off, not before going down entirely into Majabis. Moving in with help, and help he'll need at 6 health. Jade, though, might need some health as well. Trying to catch one there, not quite finding it. Quaxel does reply instead onto Jabe. A nice op shot across A site. A site's got a lot across it, in fact. It looks like this is where the game's going to be. Flawless for the Ghosts, number 6. They're dropping the hammer.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know what strategy the Knights are trying to bring out here.
I'm still in favor of 5-op.
And again, look at the picks. We got 3 Spectres out here on the Knights.
A Bucky?
And
it's a Bucky.
On Breeze. Okay.
It is a Bucky on Breeze.
You know what? You do you.
Versatility is the name of the game, Jam.
I just don't know. I just don't know anymore.
It's not up to us, Jem.
I mean, look at saving up. They saved up all their ults, too.
Wow, Knights are Valorant Bank.
Oh, there goes. I see that.
Simply absolutely unfazed.
Oh,
no! No, he went for it.
Spike planted.
Oh, that's brutal.
That is brutal indeed. Look at the Knights, only have 2 people left alive. We're going to pull out that res and bring in a third, but it might only be to die again.
This is going to, yeah, looking down tube here with the Bucky. This is totally going to, I mean, he's trying to play around the door here, but, this is definitely going to work
an
out.
uncomfortable look. Yeah. Yeah, that ult unfortunately coming out just to bring one man in to die another day. It's a flawless 6-man kill by the Ghosts, bringing into 7 points. There is a chance that both of these teams are incredibly
I love this. I love it.
Oh, that's just unfazed by that. Is like not worried about it.
Yeah.
Then he sees this monstrosity, decides to change target. Like he lets it walk past him, and then is like, just in case. There's, like I was saying, there's a chance that these are both incredibly attack side comps and teams, and that we're going to see a big landside switch at the half.
Here.
I'm not comfortable saying that, though, because that's not what we saw last round.
Throws out the decoy.
Moonkeeper dropping his man. Going to go for the old flash and TP. Not quite going to happen. Happy NO drop. Pulling their wall up at a good time. It was shot pretty quickly, though. They do have this vantage point, but it's pretty common to hold that. Moonkeeper hoping for some aggression. A little bit of a gentle flank watch here as he lets his men go around.
Cutting through.
Might try to TP out, but it's a little bit wide. You can't really use that anymore. Decides to play in. Maybe check these angles, make sure he's not going to get shot. But getting shot's the name of the game. TP's back to an awkward position, but is able to make it out alive. He's used up most of his kit and didn't get anything from it. Majavis plays one on a Briar, and then gets all of the fuzz his way.
Still 4v4. As the Ghosts have planted down on A and have the first advantage here. Moonkeeper holding down mid. He's going to teleport back to take out Jade there. Now goes for the tunnel and gets the flawless as Yoru's popping off.
Yeah, what a return of the Yoru. First half of the round, I was not happy with his positioning and util usage, but it's really come in clutch for that second half. I just feel like that teleport positioning for the Yoru is what really needs ironed out. I think that could totally change the game for this man. Because that was just kind of wide open. A second later, and he was facing the wrong way for that bridge walker to come right on him. He was underneath another player. I think he was lucky that he was in the right place at the right time, but he had the gun skill to back up that luck.
All right. Gonna throw out the Viper wall here.
Yeah, Nick going strong and steady with that Viper wall placement.
There goes the teleport out through. He's just gonna kind of fire through.
A good flash, not played up on after, though. So Moon's not going to get very much utility except scaring Jabe off of the point. A little bit of conversation fire right through the smoke.
Not quite using the decoy yet, because no one would really, in their right mind, run through a Viper wall. Oh, there goes the decoy. Doesn't look like they take the bait, though.
All of these marks are out. It's awkward moving into a place like that, and suddenly we've gone into CSGO mode.
Coaxial still able to hold this down with this up. Thinking they're going to go through mid, so they're actually closer up here.
Ooh, Ken with a good flash onto itself. Lunar Mew dropping down, trying to get out of Ken's eyes.
Oh, that's a nice flank by Pryor, but he has to do it all alone.
No! Ooh, Coaxial. He had to multitask some angles back there, and he could have been pushed up on by the man Ken was running after. They had a good pinch going. It was a little uncomfortable, this man juggling his plates, but Coaxial does decide to clutch it up in the end.
Okay, now you mentioned earlier that this just might be very attack-focused comps, and once Knights get on attack, they might start to run it up.
There's a chance.
If we're assuming that, and you're on the Ghost team, how much of a lead do you want to build up? Like, what number would you be comfortable with if you know that both teams have a huge attack advantage?
Right, like this is your chance to make any points. I think then it's the ratio of skill is what you have to keep up with. So ideally, you get a 12-0 and you only have to struggle for 1 point in the end. Because if you had a round where it's point, and the Knights and the Ghosts end up in only winning in a short overtime, then I would say quite legitimately just as the Knights are struggling for 1 point here, we might see the Ghost do the same. Wow, a little bit of awkward run in there. Still 5v5, but very low health for the KO.
I had
now
to point
10.
out, you paused speaking at just the right time for this guy to say Hawk out. You were like, so I would say legitimately, Hawk out.
Welcome to my world.
Well, this time we've had some trades back and
Spike
forth to make it
planted.
3-3. We see the Viper Spit is being used by the Ghosts here to help lock down that plan on point. Now they can set up post plant. Everyone is on the sideline looking down
Yeah,
mid.
it's interesting that they're
They've
deciding
already
to play through
planned it.
mid.
They've already planned it here.
I would just go back site, but it looks like they want to come in from the side here, maybe even split up and search for clues. Goodness, they're all going 3 different directions. And Lunar Mew is going to make sure nobody gets through that mid.
That's such a long route to take, though, if the spike's already planted.
And you're slow walking around these angles. Oh, no. Oh, okay, they're just going for a save at this point.
But I don't think, no, they don't have
One
time.
enemy remaining.
Even if they totally sweep here.
Yeah, oh, that's uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, I just don't exactly know what happened there on the Knight side with, you know, delegation of resources there in the back. They definitely should have gone around the back and just popped out where people would expect them to go. I don't think you have enough time to be, like, quirky with the playstyle. Like, the 3 of them splitting up was dangerous as it was. You can do that once you get to site and watch each other's back, but trying to send one long and peer in only is going to work if you have a clear sight, but you have a Viper's Pit up. There's nothing to look at. So instead, like, everyone was getting kills by Muzzleberry entirely.
That's why you pay attention to audio cues.
It's true.
All right, he's going to throw out the dart here. We're going to see. Still haven't seen the Yoru's ultimate beam yet.
Ooh,
Still
Simply
has-
TD might catch a clean one onto Ken. This is a beautiful play, an absolute playground for the off. And there it is, right through the jaw. Machabis now scared. You don't ever want to play up onto that. He's alone. And the util is out. Oh, he gets a good couple of shots, but it only takes 1 from Simply TD to find his second. Feeling good, he starts to walk right down this hallway into another several people standing at the bottom. The Ghost rotating out, trying to look for some chance on the B, but there's already one so close in. If they decide to go high like they are, they'll have to be
Happy.
careful to check their angles. Happy
Oh, they went
could
the
finally.
one way this could work out.
Oh, this is a beautiful chance for the Bucky. What a playground. He catches one right to the head. Gonna find it. They haven't replied onto him. He ran right out.
It actually worked.
Wow. What a getaway. I mean, now this
Now,
is
why
not
isn't he-
the angle I'd want
Okay.
to be with the Bucky. It's true, yeah.
Yeah, pick up the gun
One
now.
enemy
Now, good switch.
remaining.
Excellently
Spike
played.
down B.
Moonkeeper going to
Keeper
find a free
fighting
one.
back. Actually used his ultimate. It's not, no. Unfortunate.
Yeah, TP'd into an awkward positioning. I really think Moonkeeper's
Last round
teleport
in
there
the half.
is just needs a little bit of an adjustment and could be excellent.
At this point, yeah, you're not going to... Don't peek out of the window with the Bucky. Just don't do it. Oh, and we actually have a timeout starting, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. You know, 10-1. You catch your first point. Maybe this is a little celebratory timeout.
Sure, sure. It might be. It's interesting that now's the time that we see the timeout.
I think 6-0 is about where I pull the timeout. Or if you said like 5-0, you're considering, okay, if we lose any more ground here, we lose the half. Let's give ourselves a little bit of space to kind of work with and really like furnish off what's going wrong. Because it shouldn't take more than 2 full gun rounds and 2 pistol rounds to figure out what's going wrong. Waiting until round 11, a little bit scary.
Yeah, that does seem to be something. You gotta almost think of your timeouts as ultimates in their own right. There's something that you can use, and sometimes we just see teams pass over them completely. We didn't see any in round 1.
No, it's true. It was a little bit of a closer game in round 1, but there are definitely times it could have helped. And it's a free utility. I mean, just like you absolutely utility dump when you're about to see like that the half is ending, or you want to use up all your creds when the half is ending, even you like buy a sidearm even though you don't need one, and still they're giving up this timeout.
There we go. I was wondering, in no situation do you not use the 2-to-4.
Oh, yeah. 2-to-4s with the spike, though, a little bit risky. Don't like the kind of the pack positioning that insinuates. Look, the spike is so far from the site that if they take it with excellent timing and they're banking on a plant before the rotate, he's just too far. He does get the rendezvous in and starts moving right on a site, though. Looks like they own one half of it, but that's not quite enough. Moonkeeper takes one of the happy. Unbelievable.
The offer with a classic.
He's so good. Jade taking one. A second. Nick does reply on Jade. little bit of a Viper on Viper aggression. Lunar Mew going to reply onto that, bring it to 2v3. The Empress is in pocket. Knights looking for a big turnaround here. This is their chance. Moonkeeper trying to shut it down, watching onto that spot. Going to turn his back to it, though, letting Pryor move out. The flash doesn't get him any information, which is all he needs to move, flying onto the site to get caught by a nice little 50-50 trap. Moonkeeper takes him down, and the spike goes out. One left on site, and there it is. Nick with his 3K. Absolutely ridiculous. The Goats are just shutting things down.
I'm still shocked at that fight between the Sage and the Yoru. Talk about this is like David taking down Goliath in terms of guns. Just one perfect classic.
Oh, rough.
All right, that makes it 11-1, almost perfect in terms of attack.
Mm-hmm. A quick little switch here. We'll see how things play out. My problem, though, is that the way Valorant is designed, you have the ability to have a little bit of attack and defense in every round. Because what you can do is play a very passive defense and then play a post-plant scenario.
Dart isn't going to find anybody there. Viper will already place.
See a very wide fan from the Ghosts and looks like an interesting little mid-tap while people consider moving into B here. That toxic screen is a lot to deal with. Nick does get blinded, but they don't play too much off of it. In fact, they're backing all the way up. They've got vision all the way through, but they're not going to play into it. Lunar Mew just warming the mouse pad up. Starting fires on the desk. Nick going to play nice and aggressive here.
I like that. Oh, just missed. That would have been so perfect.
And that's not the eye contact you want to make with that man all the way down in long. Majibis setting all the way up. I don't know if he used the Sky Pixel for that one or if he's just freeballing it. Looks like it's going to hit in a decent location. Might even catch one.
No,
doesn't get taken
out of the way just in time.
Not seeing anything is some information, though. They're using the old wait till 30. Nick, again, making eye contact with that man all the way in long and decides to keep checking corners with his knife out. Simply TD has had the chance to make the shots. He's going to try to get a little pre-fire off through the smoke, but there's nothing to be made. Simply TD is just not standing where your gun is. It's just so much cat and mouse.
Oh, unfortunate
finally
there.
finds Lunar Mew. With only 12 seconds left, this is
point,
going to be a full push. I mean, Knights are really just handing it over here. Finally, this last second aggression going to come out, but Nick absolutely jaws one, and WinCon has changed. You don't need to kill anyone. You can just plant on top of the spike.
Yeah, you don't.
Just sit on it. That was a little bit of a rough one.
Last player standing.
I'm surprised that's what followed a timeout.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like it was. I'm sorry. I don't know if that sounds aggressive, but
the Knights have just been playing this whole game as if they have all the time in the world when they don't.
You're right. It kind of feels that way. And I wonder, maybe this is the greatest BM we've ever seen, Jem. What if they're just turning it all on? What if they're like, all right, here's the strat. We save for 11 rounds straight, and then just whip it into overdrive.
That sounds like a paper tier strat to me. Just being honest here.
Bring back paper tier.
Oh, they hit the decoy.
That decoy's been a rough one. I'll tell you what, when you haven't played against a lot of Yoru, you just see someone and you shoot.
Moonkeeper, they already have the advantage. They got the spike planted, though, pretty early onto A, though.
Look at that health advantage. Just focusing a little bit of gunfire onto one man here. Kind of funneling these shots. Should be able to take Knights into a good 3v2, but considering position, this is not an easy, it's easier said than done. As they come, just flowing in from the back. Jade has a great advance here. No! Okay, that was a little bit scary, but man, that cookie clicker level of tapping on that. Goes, finally finds one, might have another chance. Goodness, he's playing so hard. Does find one. Coaxial goes down as the last man to Jabe, and that's a second point for the Knights.
Okay, maybe this is part of their BM strat. The old 12-1 BM strat, the oldest trick in the book.
Again, that ghost clicking, I can't click that fast. That was ridiculous. That had to be two hands on the mouse for that one.
I turned the turbo button on.
The turbo button on. The old N64 controllers
yeah,
that would
yeah.
mash the start button for you when you hit slow. And you would just use that in Mario Kart to get to just SBM.
Oh, they're all trying. Look at this from the
Oh,
Ghosts.
what is happening? The Ghosts now having their slice of the BM pie decides to file right in and march
they kind
along.
of called it right because only Sky's over there.
They did, but Sky's now walking behind them. The flanker flanking the flank. Pryor has a chance to move in here with the Marshall. Could be Dastardly. Has a chance. Oh, gonna find one right to the heart. And they're crushing the team. Look, Jay Pryor, they've all found their one. This is close to flawless. It was almost a team ace. There it
no,
is.
but I see what they only had pistols there. So they were purposely saving that round, I think. So they weren't going full buy there. They were saving for the next round. So that kind of explains to me why the Ghosts took such a weird strategy there. They were all saving.
You think this is a once and for all push where the Ghosts really
And they realize they have so
Put
many
the fire
rounds and
out.
only one they need to win it on. So they were just
look
saying.
at those creds. I wish we could go back a frame because I think I saw someone with a Spectre holding on to $4,000 in credits just for a rainy
op?
day for the 5-op. Let's see it. 12-3 save for a 5-op. This is a fun little wall here. Moonkeeper just making a little bit of pre-fire. Never hurts to check. Ken going to follow up. Just a little bit of conversation. Keep things interesting. They're going to try to backfire off of those colored rounds. The Intimidee comes out.
That's really. Oh, just sprays right
Oh,
through.
that's it.
Spike down.
TP's right
A.
back out of there. That's a good TP. In a nice location that's behind your line where someone else is watching it. I love this decoy coming
right
out into the
Viper's
smoke.
pit.
That's mean. And a beautiful little shot there. Moonkeeper just hungry to finish this game off. Nick now coming in. They've committed to the site with not a lot to back it up. The spike is finally down, and it's
They
right
got
in their
it.
hands.
I
This
gotta
is
say,
game.
I was a big fan of sending the decoy
That was
into them,
nice.
because when you're that
Oh,
close
so
at
darn.
short range, you do not have the reaction time to think if it's a decoy.
Defenders
Additionally, like colors are all a little bit skewed. I like that. I like that.
Alrighty, there you go. Ghosts win it, 13-2. What a performance by the Ghosts. They have definitely earned their spot in the grand finals. So great job to them. Well, do you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers? Then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights, and with our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, the Ghosts take down the Knights and advance to the grand finals, and we will wrap up the night with game one from our other semifinals, the Barracudas versus the Vipers. You're not going to want to miss that, so we're going to take a short break and be back with the final game of the night.
Growing up in Riggins, we have certain rules we live by. Look both ways before crossing the street. Fishing stories get better the more you tell them. Small town life makes your life anything but small. Never work alone when you go hunting. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by. Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
to build bridges and hospitals in a day. We're going to save families from disaster and feed those left in the cold. We invite you to join us. The next greatest generation is now.
Welcome back to this week's broadcast of the Esports Tower Rumble and Valorant, broadcasting from the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We'll wrap up week 2 of our Summer Rumble with the first game of the Barracudas versus Vipers semifinals. I'm your host, Jacob Jam Palmer, joined by Greg Olsol-Smith. Greg, as we are heading into the final game, it looks like we're going to be going to a stage, more of an off-pick, but we've been seeing a little bit more of it lately. Fracture is going to be the choice.
Fracture indeed. I'm more worried about the nomenclature issue of having a team named Vipers.
Yeah, sure.
I could see that being an issue.
Does the Vipers have Viper on
later.
their
Yeah,
team?
we're going to hopefully Fracture picks allow for a little bit of understanding in there, as we don't see Viper picked, at least in my squads, very often on Fracture.
Well, just have to see what happens. But no matter what they pick, they're going to want to keep in mind Doc's keys to the game before they get in. And once again, for the final time tonight, Doc's keys to the game in Valorant is going to be to flank effectively, spend and peek wisely, count cards, call abilities, and click heads. Presented to you by Esports Tower. Score pro advice at esportstower.com. Improve your game sense, improve your team play, and improve your performance under pressure. You'll get matched with great players and professional coaches to help you rank up. Now as we head into the matchup, Barracudas versus Vipers. Remember, this is a best-of-3 semifinals. We're going to show you game 1 of that best-of-3. And then to find out who joins the Ghosts in the finals, you're going to have to tune in next week. So this will help set the stage and set the team who wins off at a very good start. Ready to kick off game 1 on a Fracture to see who will have the match point heading into next week. So ready to jump in here. Barracuda's roster is also a free agent roster, just like we saw with the Ghosts, and it worked out for the Ghosts, so we'll have to see. You're going to want to watch out for Prestige and Rezkin, who are some of the best fraggers in the Esports Tower Rumble, and already we're just going to go right into the picks.
Ooh, I love it. Fracture already picked all up. I love seeing Fade really being clicked here pretty often, and Chamber really getting his miles in as well, and Brimstone is definitely coming back. Breach on this map is goated every time, and in the same feel, I really like Sky for this map as well too, so I'm happy with all of these picks, and I'm looking forward to it. We actually saw a beta player in there. This Fade has been with us since beta. Appreciate that.
That's cool. Overall, as we're ready to jump in here, Barracudas are going to be on the right as they have Prestige and Rezkin. So Barracudas are going to be red, Vipers blue, as we are ready to start up here.
Something to keep an eye on is the dynamic between these free pick 5 agents on the Vipers side. Obviously, they aren't shaking hands right now. They've been practicing for a little bit, but we might see a difference in playstyle between the characters as far as just cooperation goes between free agent teams and otherwise.
We're going to see how well the Barracudas can gel together as a team, since they are all free agents there. And wow, they are just charging right in here.
E making lots of eye contact, decides to jump back, and it's a good time they queued that dash for it.
This
Does
is
mean they're
not
out
a
of
peak you wanna
utility
take.
entirely, but wow, goodness, they are coming in strong and going to catch one right off the bat. E does find one on to delete Simp, but Rezkin replies back, and they've owning the site now. Not even worried about it. A free plant, it seems. Ooh, Spike Carrier does go down, decides to change where they want that spike to go, and now everybody is just falling. Prestige killed, and Prestige again find ones onto Hidden Tracker and Co., leaving the Vipers with only one player left, and here he comes already. A beautiful little concussant flash going out onto him back there. Arctic's got a lot to go up against here. He's got to play nice and smooth. I love this repathing. Going to play a one-on-one against Kinetic. That's his best chance here. but it's not quite enough chance, and Arctic goes down.
Well, it seems the Barracudas are off to a pretty good start here. And also, just in terms of overall, today's been a pretty exciting day in terms of agent choices, because we got to see Yoru. We're also seeing Neon here, so some nice off picks being thrown in here.
Yeah, it's nice to get good representation of the whole field, the whole pack. Ooh, looks like Barracudas are going to attack from the above now as they all ride the fancy new zip line across to the other side of this Pokeball stage. Looking to ignore Dish entirely, move straight on to B, and it's a good read by the Vipers, maybe, as they risk sending one man over to catch this from the side. Arctic makes a lot of eye contact, and they're going to take out his little gadget. Ooh, already sending in Neon with a good shot. Flirt with the idea of this rope here. He doesn't like it. Arctic moves right on out. Giving up the space. Hidden can't quite defend that tunnel against Kinetic, and they move right on the site. Owning the site's a little uncomfortable for the Vipers. They're definitely going to have to group together and team up here. They have to make the decision on whether they want to go post-plant or push now. And that's the time up now. Barracudas are locked down and ready to stand still. V-Spicy taking one on is a good catalyst for opening here. We're going to see a little bit of a change in pace. All three of the Vipers are now working together here, moving right down the tunnel.
I'll say, I'm surprised that many Okay, yes. Trying to bait out that one shot there. He finally did. Look how low he is on health, by the way. Yeah, it's just needed to look at E and he would have fell.
Yeah. Yeah, a very offensive sneeze could have taken E right off the field. And that's round 2 for the Barracudas. Nice and fast.
Now we're gonna get to a full buy round, unless the Vipers want to pull a Knights move and not do a full buy until round 5. Hey, go for the 5 ops here on Fracture. I'm sure it'll work out.
5 op on Fracture.
Oh, look at. Okay, that's interesting. Their Chamber is only going for a Frenzy, but he doesn't have the Tour de Force. Well, okay.
Kinetic decides to freestyle right into Tracker, and it's not going to look good. Tracker does take a bit of a hit to the health, though, and they keep hunting him down. A quick Hawk destroyed as they are really watching him here. Finally getting that pop flash off, but there's another smoke around the bend, so no information is gained from it now. Attacking side Barracudas owns the site entirely, and they're going to Frenzy right through the smoke into those hands. Killed's still staying alive, even though all he has is a beautiful knife and a good-looking Frenzy. The headhunt does come out in a quick flash before he moves right off the site to regroup with his team by the spike. Vipers, ooh, they're not looking super comfortable, but they have a good chance here as they're weaving right on in. They're able to take Delete Simp and Killed's right off the map. Moving into the spike here, not quite going to make it, and this concuss right on top. Well placed, good map understanding, and a good use of the breach. They're hidden, looking to move onto that spike as the Barracudas are all off the map. Absolutely destroying that bonus as the Vipers take their first point.
The coaches have been really impressed with the Vipers' play in the last few weeks and think the team is nearing a breakthrough Rumble performance. A lot of attention for the team has been on E and Arctic as the new players who the coaches want to see how they play in the Rumble. So they are looking here for kind of a breakout performance.
Yeah. All right, E and Arctic, our eyes are on you. So for E, I recommend you buy a gun.
All right, Zard, are you for your breakout performance? Now, the first step to that is buying a gun.
Oh, we do have a Guardian in the ranks. Interesting. You know, it's really, the ends justify the means when it comes to the Guardian. Ooh, look at this cascade right in, just absolute avalanche right down. Molly back in the pocket, making it difficult to plant in that default, but Delete Simp does not even care and puts it right where he needs it to be. Arctic looking to hold this site, waiting for V-Spicy to make a move. Not quite going to happen. Delete Simp hold up in this area here. They could get him out with a good Molly. Reskin looking to angle up his Vipers, pushing onto the site with 4 people is very doable. They're all in one spot. That smoke is starting to come out. That catalyst to move in. E finds one with the Guardian. We'd love to see it. E moving right on up, gets friendly with the site, and Arctic goes down with Tracker. Kinetic feeling fast, finds a 3K and gets hungry for the 4th, but Spicy doesn't want to see it. Ooh. Oh, that's a good one. That really, that gets all the...
Well,
eliminates all the...
Is it really Old Soul?
It's...
One enemy
It's like the
remaining.
old dodgeball move where you throw one in the air, and as they look at it, you drill them with the other one.
Man, they really targeted that shrubbery off to the side of the map.
Can't be having that there.
Well, at this point, you know, I gotta say, if we're talking about these new players, E and Arctic, talk about jumping into the deep end of the pool because you're going up against Prestige and Reskin.
They are definitely testing the depth of the water with both feet here, playing against some seasoned veterans such. But they're faring well against them. 1v3 is not a bad stance to take.
I mean, even if they can't line up a molly to save their lives.
It's okay.
Take our word for it. They are veteran players, the Barracudas.
That's one good advantage 2 Monitors has, having the lineups tutorial on YouTube playing in the background to save you.
I think he was looking at the tutorial at the same time there and didn't realize he had to look at the screen to line it up.
It's rough. It happens to the best of us. Now,
whoa.
Kinetic playing aggressive. Finds 2 of them. With the little Darth Sidious hands there, gonna bail right out and let E take care of it. But E, it's okay. The shotgun you can fire right into the smoke. It fires just as well. V Spicy kind of got fended off that site there. They were looking to really.
Spike planted.
Ooh. Oh, just a little tap fire. Keep you on your toes. V Spicy goes in for the refuel. Kinetic taken by the back as Arctic comes flying in after him. Arctic really trying to multi-hand this site here. Might need to move on and take it from out from under the lead sim. Ooh. That rendezvous goes right out, and he's going to pull his own just a little off to the side. Not quite going to happen. It's getting low on time here. This is not a comfortable position for the Vipers. At this point, they're really just looking to lock people into that fire there. V Spicy.
It's just going to save.
Yeah, it's just going to save, which I hear him. I'm surprised he's not looking for outros, actually, though. Yeah, just an uncomfortable round for the Vipers there. I think they had the positioning to make a nice wave in to take, you know, a good stance on the, to try to find a good post-plant scenario push. But just taking a little bit too long, and the pace of the game just feels different.
Kinetic only able to pick up one off that ultimate. Yeah, and we do see a timeout brought out by the Vipers, which, yeah, I like seeing that a little bit earlier right now.
Yeah, a 4v1 is not a bad place to, especially if you have new characters you're kind of introducing to the team and you want to, like, iron out the ways that things are moving, then it is good to have that.
Give them a reminder of what our game plan is. You know, not get too much tunnel vision here.
Go back to the drawing board. When Coach taps your shoulder, he's got the whiteboard with all the X's and O's.
Yeah.
You got to take a pause and just really go for it. Crack open the game fuel and get to it. So hopefully their timeout is going well and they're getting lots of new information on the board.
Hopefully Reskin can work on those lineups. I'm just going to say one more time.
I love
how you had so much faith in it. You just assumed that the lineup would be good, and you're like, no, this is great. This is great. I'm waiting for the moment when it's great.
The ironic hype for Reskin, maybe he didn't deserve the BM. It was, I just, Hail Mary. There's like, when you hear action over there, there's throwing fire at it. I love the energy.
It's got to hit sooner or later.
It's a prospect we, you know, appreciate. All right, looks like this is a nice split hold from the Vipers here. Very aggressive on where they're going to be standing.
You want to play? Let's play.
Low on B and high on A. Unfortunately, that's not where the eyes are from the Barracudas. A little bit late on this slow now walk across the chain. Still slow walking around Dish, but backs are turned towards it. This sights are on a lockdown here. Barracudas are feeling like moving slow kills to take the first one on a hidden. A great use of the 2 to force. Holding solid. I like Tracker moving through here. This is really one of the best places to be using that dog. No concuss is going to be found, but he does get a lot of information on what's behind him, so he can hold solid and face this wall that's coming on to him as Prestige takes on V Spicy. E with an aerial attack, not quite going to land. Reskin 3K taking him out. Tracker, fighting for his life, just sending everything, blinding himself to try to make it through. He does survive, but they pushed him way off the site, and the spike gets planted. 2 people left, and they already know where one is. The ult is out for the other, and it's not on a site that he'd want it to be on. It's not feeling great for the Vipers here, but they have a chance to get rid of some things. Barracuda is still on a beautiful 5-stack, just holding the site nice and wide, deep out into Dish and far from the site.
Last player standing.
Prestige.
Tracker has the chance to take 2 or 3 here on an outro, but finding the site is not going to happen. Ooh.
Flawless.
Ooh, pierced his ear, but Prestige found the face. And that's a flawless from the Barracudas. Only one ult committed. 5-1.
It's turning into a pretty dominant victory here for the Barracudas. Vipers at this point don't have anything that really screams to me that they come back on defense here. At this point, kind of rough and Vipers are going to be forced. They can't full buy. We saw some of them go for small shields there. Even more so, it's probably going to end up in a... I do not know what... just a little bit too much faith in the teleporter there.
It happens. Yeah, I feel like Vipers just have their timing off a little bit. Prestige here, a master of the timing, going to stare at this long until something cool happens. Start sending out, really setting up for his man to move in. Delete Sniper Prestige moving strong. It's a beautiful pull through the dish, and Kinetic making the catalyst. Checks one side of the 50-50, but you've got to check both ways before you cross the street. You get shot in the back. Unfortunately, it doesn't matter how fast you run, the bullets are faster. And that's several down. Vipers now to 3-1 advantage are looking good. Spike is down, though. All Delete Simp has to do is not die. Only have Prestige left, and he's off-site. It's not comfortable. Diffuse is already halfway done. Prestige has got to do something dastardly to get out of there. It's not going to happen.
Oh,
now
they
he's just looking
already
for free
just,
outros.
okay.
Yeah,
Yep.
They were halfway through, and he was dealing with their man. Well done by the Vipers. Going to find one more.
But probably at this point, the Vipers are... No, wait. I still don't see a full buy there. It looked like someone had a Guardian. Which is a bit unfortunate.
They are losing a lot of people, but they did take one round for one round after that timeout. You know, a 5-2 is better than a 4-1.
Sure.
Mathematically speaking.
It's a lower percentage of wins.
Yeah, they're not batting 1,000, but they're definitely helping the average. Kinetic, wow, just moving strong.
Too late though.
Flawless every time.
So fast.
Oh, so close, but it's not going to happen. Kinetic finds one before going down, and Killed follows him after into the grave by Tracker. Arctic now trying to watch this site, but it's not going to happen. They push him right off. Good util. They get right in. They keep sending it. It is difficult to be Arctic. Oh, time and time again, he stays strong, though. E loves this aerial attack, but has to get fished right out of the pool by Tracker. V Spicy looking to make his way around. One's being sent back to A, and I'm not sure why. Several even. The gameplay is all on site B, but we're just checking A just in case. Prestige now being absolutely hunted by these Seekers. Going to take all three of them out, and the Barracudas are not going to be seeked very hard. Looking to take care of Arctic here.
Seeing all three of them go in one direction, you know where the team is now. You know.
Yep, it's
everyone's over there.
So they're watching this site. If he moves nice and slow here, he doesn't have the angle advantage, but he doesn't want to peek onto three people. So
I mean, to be fair, the main value you get out of the Seekers isn't necessarily the blinding if they hit you.
No, because you have to chase pretty strong after those.
It's nice, don't get me wrong, but you're wanting to find out where everyone is first and
goodness, they
foremost.
really got him with that one. They should be able to smooth right on underneath him. Now he checked the pockets and he knows they're under there. Not going to find one onto the heads. Am I going to get cuts out here? Oh, the collateral potential was there, but it's not going to happen. The Delete Simp goes down and Prestige replies. A good setup there. E expects a little bit of a wider swing. Aims a little high, but there. Finally clutches in at the last second with 2 health and 2 shots. Can he make this shorty go far? No, he's going to switch to the Vandal. Ooh, very close. He can't move and shoot at the same time. It's got to be one than the other. Defenders win anyways.
Okay.
By time, was it?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, it was by time. They didn't get the spike down.
There it is. Excellently done, Vipers. Finding another one to bring that average slowly forward. Seems like the Barracudas are making 1 step forward and 2 steps back as the Vipers are slowly catching up here. And I just loved how, I believe it was Arctic, understood the win con here. He knows there's 3 people beneath him, but he's at an angle disadvantage, and you don't want to swing wide onto 3 people. So he just lets them throw the util after him and just keeps holding his spot, and it's because of that sacrifice that they win by time.
Smokes down.
Spicy throwing some smokes down. I don't know if he realizes, though, all 5 are moving up through A here.
Beautiful molly.
That's such a good molly, though.
Kinetic jumps right over it, disrespectful. He's the only one on the site, though, so if he doesn't have the plant, he shouldn't really be there. Decided to turn his back to the wall to get up into a better vantage point to let people come in. It's the catalyst for a nice little move-in, but they can't do it with the smoke still there. Actually, they can. Kinetic is watching their back, so they definitely could have moved in, but they didn't. finally starting to move in here. There's two behind Shiny, and they just quite don't play off of it. It's a good try with the arrow, but it falls a little bit shy.
He's just hanging out there, and he already took half damage from it.
Man.
He does heal up, though. It was bailed out there. Now tries to go for the peak, trying to take them all on at once with E. Arctic does manage to get the hit onto Kinetic there. Through the wall. Oh, there goes Orbital Strike, but while he's using it, he just charges through. Is he able to get to him? He doesn't see him back there, and he's going to pay the price for it.
Kills and Prestige to take Arctic, E, and Co. Now only one Viper left, and there's no option but to try to catch an outro. Gets a little bit of a hit onto Prestige, but Prestige is just a little bit quicker and finds that assist to 3 kills.
Now look at Prestige here. He is popping off. 15-2-3.
Woo. KDA for the ages.
This point right now, also, it's just it's not fun when you're just getting blinded time after time again by the breach.
Or when 2 people walk past you because there's so much smoke that you just can't really see anything, and you have to play off audio cues for the first one and then just free fire onto the second.
Want to play?
It's a little bit chaotic, but if it works for them, if that's the energy you want, the atmosphere you want to play in Barracudas, I respect it. Be Spicy considering mollying his own teammate. Not my favorite mechanic, but definitely something you can implore if you're feeling it. It's something that free agent teams, I feel like, that's the real lack is the synergy of the man. Kinetic just loves
to catch
sprinting through, and that molly is to no avail. Kinetic just hops right over it.
Spike planted.
Kinetic finding those 2 and sitting pretty on site. Barracuda is still 5 alive and thrilling. Kinetic looking to take on with Prestige, but Prestige takes a good one in the face of Kinetic now. Or sorry, to E takes a good one onto Prestige, and Kinetic looks to back it.
Wow.
Nice. Just so satisfying those Sheriff kills.
Fortunately, Vipers still have to overcome a whole lot. He's going to have the bump. Nope.
Oh.
Yep, the wide peak there is going to give Kinetic the quad. Kinetic wants to unseat Prestige here. We've kind of got a top fragger battle going on.
Ooh, I do love that. And that third base slide onto the final kill is just fun. If you got a finisher on your gun, that's worth clipping.
Yeah, it's just waits for it. He isn't even going to wait. Yeah,
I think it's a timing issue that you need to be able to use your numbers advantage, and the Barracudas do too well picking the Vipers off one at a time before they can really cooperatively advance with the timing. Ooh, E with the operator coming out. An aggressive operator cues in immediately, almost gets a beautiful shot on, has to run right away, head down and knife in hand. V Spicy looking to take one as well, but the flash comes out excellently. Going to re-angle to a better spot. That haunt pushing him even further back into the hallway, so he has to give up a teammate. Then walking into the haunt loses himself. Kinetic up to K. It's looking good for the Barracudas as they roll right onto site. Tracker looking to fight from above, tries to get onto site, sees just a little bit of that ponytail, but ooh, it's only enough gunfire to lure out a shot. Gonna run all the way around Dish just for fun. ResKing gets a free plant now with this brand new site. And a self-flash keeps our Sky back in the Dish. Now after a little bit of a repositioning, they're not looking good. It's a beautiful bait and switch here as the Prowler comes out and Kinetic follows in smooth after. The Barracudas are just synergizing their utilities so well. Oh, Hidden has been grinding the aim labs and takes from a distance before going down to the off. Giving Barracudas their 8th round.
Yeah, but all the aim labs practice in the world isn't going to necessarily overcome the general mathematics of 5 versus 1.
No, that's a rough one to get over. You gotta have your nose to the crosshair to take care of a 5v1.
I don't care how many Twitch highlights you have, you've seen. It doesn't happen that often.
Yep.
Well, we got the last round before halftime. Oh, interesting choice from Arctic here. We actually see 2 judges be brought out.
Yes, and an ultimate or 2 coming out from the Vipers, both long-range ultimates. Tracker. Consider sending the dog into REC territory. V Spicy with that. Oh no, he had so much potential, but he takes 1 instead of 3, and Prestige turns around a little too quick. E taking 1 with his jump shot. Man, he's been wanting one of those. Tries to zoom out of there and hits against the wall. It happens to the best of us. Hidden follows him up though and takes care of that spike. That pesky little thing goes right down in the hallway, and the win con shifts just a little bit. No longer is the site that critical for our kills, and the defenders take one round.
Although, really, you know, if you're the Barracudas, do you really want a 9-3? You know, just settle for an 8-4 and avoid the bad juju.
I hear ya. I hear ya. It's something to consider.
It's something to consider. Well, now the Barracudas are going to go over to defense here.
Uh-huh. How do you feel about this? Let's take a second to look at the composition as far as attack defense goes. I feel like Neon is all of a sudden, I don't want to say useless, but with the playstyle that Kinetic has been taking.
The one silver lining is that on defense, she can rotate between points pretty fast.
That's fair.
She does have her run. That's the one silver lining.
Yeah.
But you are right in that she is much more aggressively focused.
I didn't see a lot of her with Breach, but maybe I wasn't paying with Brim, but maybe I wasn't paying attention to when those stim beacons were dropped. There was a lot going on every time they tried to molly on the origin of that hallway that she makes, so maybe the fast lane was covering up a little bit of the steam beacon, I don't know. In any event, the Vipers have a nice little spread here with a beautiful flank guard that might come in clutch here in a second as player number 6 tries to walk onto Sky back there as we see a nice slow move onto B.
Oh, the Haunt is going to... Oh, I like that placement.
That's good. That's like good understanding of the kit there.
Now this E is going to have all... Yeah, they know exactly where E is, so now it's...
Yeah.
Do you just rotate over? But it seems like the Barracudas are anticipating a possible rotate over A here. Yeah, Vipers are going to stick with B here. They move on, and Delete isn't able to hold them, so they're going to get their plant. Oh, what a nice place. Oh, just misses the molly.
Off the side. Needed one more bounce in it, and Arctic gets a free plant off on an open site. And just the pacing of the Vipers moving into the site was much better timing. I appreciate it a lot better. I think they're going to do much better on the attack side than on the defense. They take one out. Kinetic making so much eye contact. Just reaching the fire, walks right past one and into the second, but he takes him out. It's a bait and switch.
How is Kinetic
still alive? He baited off his teammate. It's a great throw, and he just blindsides it because he knows he got the kill and jumps right in for the 4K. He's unbelievable. Oh. Blood in his eyes, he tries to kill the diffuser.
There were so many times there where I thought, oh, he's dead. There's someone behind him.
No, that all the Twitch. I could watch that frame at a time.
There.
Yeah, let's see all the moments. Yeah, takes it there.
3 people looking at him. He throws his first one.
There's Sky there.
Walks right past one.
That's insane. So many. And then I would at least think, yeah, here. Wow. Okay.
Absolutely ridiculous.
It was the teammate. Oh man. If his teammate, if the Fade hadn't gotten the elimination right there, he wouldn't have been able to move up.
Oh, that was beautiful. Oh goodness. Kills. Just disgusting.
Okay. I'm done. I'm done.
You got to wash the gun after a play that dirty. He's trying to follow it up, but it's not going to happen. 3 shots. You're low when you're retire when you're ahead killed. It looks good, but oh, there we go. A follow-up shot. He's doing well. 2 down. Another good shot by Kinetic. Really putting all the fire onto that planter. That's 1 damage of planting too soon. You just don't have the backup to make it happen. They're going to sprint right through the fire. Delete Simp. Wow, blood on the tongue takes care of business. Kills catching his 3K with the Headhunter, and it's an easy defuse from Kills. What a smooth round. The Vipers were just not ready to back up that plant there.
No, and I wasn't ready for that aggressive a peek on the Marshall.
Oh, my goodness. Let's see that one again.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that.
Like, wake up. The Barracudas are trying to squash this game out.
Well, I guess we don't get what we want this time.
We tried.
You don't always get what you want in this game.
But you can always have a Marshall from Kills bringing it out 1 more round. Yeah. Even though they're...
Hey, he doesn't need the op as far as I'm concerned. He's
like, they're all saving even though they have so many creds in pocket. Let's see that 5-op, ladies. Ooh, Kinetic going aggressive as usual on this defense. He's forced into an awkward 50-50. Speaking of awkward, that's a lot of screen time. And it's the rough refuel right there.
I like how you're starting to adopt a drill sergeant mentality around them. Let's see that 5-op now, ladies. I'm imagining you speaking in the voice of Arl E. Emery right now. this is the ultimate problem, I think, with the Vipers, is that I don't think that they're a bad team. I think there's a lot of talent in these new players. I think they show some promise, but in between the rounds here, as we're going to see the scoreboard again. Oh, Vipers, yeah, they're still making a fight of it. Hidden has a 2-on-1 here, but Prestige is down to half health.
I think that's
remaining.
Oh, he's going crazy.
Oh, he
one
might.
left. Can he clean it up with a 4K, bringing it back to 1 to 2 points? Oh, this is a great walk around. He's got a 50-50 chance here. And he plays right through the middle.
Nice.
Milking him out the side and taking care of him. Hidden with a nice little knife flex.
Okay, but look here, and hopefully we don't take a replay, because I want to see the... You know what? Really? The one time we asked for a replay.
There's your request was in the queue last time, and it just went through now.
It just went through.
It just got processed.
It got through the dial-up modem. That was... Yeah, thanks.
In any event, here it is.
Here it is. That's okay. Look at Prestige and Kinetic. I mean, they're just popping up. I think that's the one problem that the Vipers have here. They're just going up against the two most veteran, talented players in Esports Tower.
Ooh, Arctic did well there. I don't think it landed though. Oh. Oh no, he was so close. He didn't get the orb, and he didn't use the orb to bait anyone out so he could play him there. Instead, he saw him in the ran, but it's of no threat. He's going to take 2 of them for free and get the spike down. He tries to play onto him, but he's too quick, and a classic to the forehead is an easy fix for that problem. He's going to move right up onto it, onto the spike. He's looking great. Hidden takes his first onto Rezkin. It's now a 2v4 with a tour de force out in an uncomfortable position as the angles are not very favorable. He's got to fight through an entire wall to get to the spike there. It's looking like a clean round for the Barracudas here. Ooh,
right wow,
corner. Like, is that an elbow? Oh, I can take that. No, Hidden is looking good
here.
and might actually get all the way back down to spike.
Standing.
Never mind. Prestige takes him. Just one left, and look at that. Just absolute wall he's got to get through. Oh, nice little threatening dink on there, but he runs into deletes Imp, who deletes him. Sorry, Tracker.
At this point, it's like I said, you're just going up against a team with 2 of the best players in the whole league of Esports Tower, and that's just a tough ask. The fact that they've managed to do this 5-10, still very impressive to me considering the talent they're going up against.
And it's easy to take care of, like, one person that is absolutely excellent can be taken by 2 players, no problem. Like, if you set it up right,
sure,
you can absolutely take them in a tic-tac-toe
But you're not
scenario
going up against one player who's absolutely excellent. You're going up against 2.
And 5-man teams usually have great individual style, but can't.
Hey,
like,
the Vipers have to take it, you know, as a bit of encouragement. You're going up against what is arguably the best team, and you're still doing better than the Knights did. So that's something. That's a feather to put in your cap.
Rough. Gem is going no holds barred there.
Hey, I calls them as I sees them.
Well, the Vipers are owning this site now. It's looking good for them on this round, as the Barracudas only have 3 left to go in. This orbital strike might come in clutch if they know what the placement's like. That spike is already down, and Prestige is looking to move nice and slow in.
Ooh, that's such a nice lineup.
Yeah, that is perfect. Running right through with a little bit of a concuss. They come right around, but Arctic is...
But that was just the right time to play that hawk there, too. Kind of counterblind them.
Ooh, and a team ace.
Nice.
They don't happen very often, and it's difficult to make them happen when you've got, you know, 3 people down and 1.5 health in the end.
Considering the Barracuda, I mean, they basically had them all stunned here.
Yep.
You're going to see right here, I think he hears the audio cue and realizes he has just enough time to throw out the hawk here, which blinds killed, so he can't take advantage of that ultimate.
Yeah. Then that's good, being able to kind of take a bishop with a pawn, being able to throw out a hawk and absolutely throw away an entire ultimate.
Viper's going to be kept at bay there just a little bit. Seeker's going to head out.
Ooh, Kinetic seeing so much, takes care of a Seeker and the E that backed it. Going to get a little bit of an angle change on a Tracker, but Tracker's too quick, takes Kinetic, no problem. Prestige now looking to back it up. He's got to get out of there. Holding onto this site, they still have not pushed very far. They're going to use the dog to catalyze that, but it's not going to happen. They send some Seekers the other way, and the lead Sim finds 2 before going down to V Spicy. Looking pretty strong, but he doesn't want to play into that too far. It doesn't take him right to the site in the way that they'd like. They might not even want to go to that site. In fact, Vipers are looking at sending their one-man Brim all the way back around. He's got the orbital strike, so I wouldn't be surprised if he retaps onto this just for some information on where to put it. Oh.
Okay.
You do have 50 seconds on the clock. This is not unjustifiable. This could be cheeky.
It could be. If he goes left, he only has to face one, but
it's true.
Of course, he's going. Okay,
no,
he is going.
This is like
he's just going.
Now,
he's just moonwalking back
30
there.
seconds left.
Moonwalking isn't my favorite way to peek onto a site you haven't checked this game, so it's like a fresh round for Site B. Reskin can be anywhere. He's checking the typical spots, which is good, but blindly walks past it. Oh, he's not in a comfortable position.
Oh, he doesn't have the time. Oh, man.
He's got to start running. Oh, this is
10
not
seconds
great.
left.
Going in for the plant. They
Oh,
might,
no.
No, they checked the wrong way. He's going around the back, and he muzzle berries right into the face. He's got a chance here. This orbital strike might even be the chance to move right off site and go. Nope, instead he's going to absolutely camp on it. It is an option. They're going to go ahead and
he
try
does
to
have
use some
the
utility to get in
post-plant
there.
option with the orbital strike.
He does, but he's not going for it. He's already in a place where he can't move off site. They're too deep in. It is a good place to stim beacon now that you're already stuck in that hole. It's not a lot of good places to re-angle, though. So after taking Prestige, they know where you're at. You have to multitask 3 angles here. Kids comes right around, but he doesn't have the angle advantage, and he clutches it with a 4K. Vipers, you're insane. Be spicy.
If he didn't
Ridiculous.
win, that was definitely worthy of a lot of NTs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well done there. I just uncomfortably be stuck here. You have no good places to go except wider into the other man's view, and I can't call that an off angle. But Kilds just decides to play nice and loose here when he doesn't have the angle advantage. Unfortunately, we're fresh out of game to capture, so that's looks like it's going to be at 7-12.
It happens, I suppose. It happens.
We have a lot of analyze
I don't know if that's just that's the software itself throwing some shade at the teams right there. It's saying
there's no game left.
Yeah, there's no game to capture here. I'm not
we're done.
I'm not even sentient, and I'm not interested in this game, which I think is a bit too soon, close to call because
it is. The Vipers
for
are making
being a
turnarounds.
new team, they're doing pretty well.
And we talked about the kind of the ratio of play here and the 1 step forward, 2 steps back that the Barracudas have kind of been feeling. The Barracudas are still taking space, but the Vipers are sprinting on up. Speaking of sprinting on up, we've just seen Kinetic pull their fast move. Hopefully they can get ground on pretty quickly, though. E holding strong here. Might be able to play against a couple people, including Kinetic. It's a good bait and switch, though, and Kinetic catches him with one of the oldest tricks in the book. Sorry, E goes down. Arctic and Tracker now holding those ropes. Decides to go across. Might help out Hidden on the other side as he walks into Dish with that spike. Yep, gonna take care of that. Starts moving smooth on the Vipers. Have no mistakes left in the bank here. They've got to be good. Absolutely drilling this angle, hoping that Kinetic will rock across. It doesn't happen.
Oh, he's got reload.
There it comes. He has to give up his opponent. Oh, Kinetic racing in after. Takes that 3K.
Does it. At this point, I don't see what Tracker or Arctic could do here, especially once they're concussed. Kinetic might actually just finish this. Oh, no. He can't.
Kinetic almost had the ace.
Almost had the ace.
Almost had the ace. It's all right, though. Oh, wow. They are greedy for that one. Now, Arctic, it's just the timing is bad. You. Oh. What?
30 seconds left.
Interesting, but he's playing
You know
it.
what?
He's
the
moving
walk
with it.
into the orbital strike strategy. You're trying something new.
I think you're underestimating how valuable that quarter of a second is, and how it compares to the mere 50 health you use by walking it.
I love how even when you're trying to defend it, you can't help but crack up. Well, do you want to be seen by expert college recruiters, talk directly to esports industry insiders like pro athletes, team general managers, and game producers? Then join the club. Esports Tower players get insider access to industry insights. With our featured rumbles, recruiters are taking notice too. It's a great way to score exposure if you're looking to start your path to pro or land a collegiate scholarship. Well, we'll be back with the second game of that semifinal next week, but now we want to review what we just saw for this week with the player of the game discussion. Do you have anyone that stood out in your mind? I mean, V Spicy could go out there. I mean, he probably had the most impressive round that we saw, just how he was able to take that, but overall, we also have to remember last matchup. Was there anyone from there you remember? Or?
I don't know. I think you had better eyes on the KDA than I did. I think it was looking more at the Creds, but I feel like we saw some excellent plays from Kinetic. They had some real blast-out first blood feels. I think Fryer did pretty well as well, got a lot of screen time.
Kinetic and Prestige have been with the program so long. They've already gotten plenty of players of the game.
That's true.
So.
I'll give you that.
So I would probably favor someone from the first match.
I think I would as well.
Yeah, so we'll just have to see who it is that is going to be named player of the game. It is going to be Majabis. But hey, good race play.
Yeah, prior props to you, but Majabis had some crazy stuff here. And this really was just, you know they're the kind of people that warm up before a match. Like, the gunplay on this first matchup was so clean.
And doing a great job here. Was able to hold them. Oh yeah, he held the Ares for so long at the beginning of this match. Yeah. Okay, yeah, that earns the player of the game in my book just because I love seeing Ares play. The player of the game is brought to you by Idaho Central Credit Union, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like Idaho Central's helping members achieve financial success. Majabis is your ICCU player of the game. Just one final great play there, doing some great play there. It was such a competitive game for that first game. But anyway, as we prepare to close things out, do you have any final thoughts?
I think work a little bit on timing and cooperation for some players, and some people are doing excellent. Just keep your ear to the grindstone. I love what I saw today.
All right, where our Week 2 Valorant Rumble is off to a fast start with the Ghosts 2-0ing the Knights to advance to the Grand Finals. And the Barracuda is strong in their Game 1 performance, so make sure to join us next week to see who will meet the Ghosts in the Grand Finals. For more amazing Valorant moments, tune in next Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Close out with the top 5 plays of the game brought to you by the Idaho Army National Guard, who invites you to take your impressive critical thinking skills into real time. More than 10 jobs offering a $20,000 bonus and your degree of choice paid for. Idaho Army National Guard is one of the best teams to join out there. Reach out to them at Twitch at iGuard Gaming. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week, and enjoy your top 5 plays. Hey, not that Schumann. Look at that. There's that teleport we were talking about. He's able to rotate back. He has to go over to Headhunter in close range. He gets mowed down, and now the Knights only have one left. Literally playing out of their mind right now, though. Oh, that's such an unfortunate dog there. Take, though, if the spike's already planted.
And you're slow walking around these angles. Oh, no. Oh, okay, they're just going for a save at this point.
But I don't think, no, they don't have time. Even if they totally sweep here.
Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Okay.
Yeah, kind of the pack positioning that insinuates. Look, the spike is so far from the site that if they take it with excellent timing and they're banking on a plant before the rotate, he's just too far. He does get the rendezvous in and starts moving right on the site, though. Looks like they own one half of it, but that's not quite enough. Zookeeper takes one of the happy. Unbelievable.
The offer with the classic.
He's so good. Jade taking one. A second. It goes.
Not going to be thrown out, quickly destroyed. Jade is going to be facing down that tour de force, and unfortunately, by going down there, is just going to close off short. Hey, now that Schumann. Look at that. There's that teleport we were talking about. He's able to rotate back. He has to go.
Much better timing. I appreciate it a lot better. I think they're going to do much better on the attack side than on the defense. They take one out. Kinetic making so much eye contact. Desperation. Fire walks right past one and into the second, but he takes him out. It's a bait and switch.
How is Kinetic?
My God. He baited off his teammate. It's a great throw, and he just blindsides it because he knows he got the kill and jumps right in for the 4K.